All right. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back, you all. So, um, just like the last time, we're going to keep things open for people to come up and give their thoughts and their opinions. Looking at the world events for the most part. And I'm asking this question: is there a winner? Is there a winner? And you have to think about that. You have to really consider what's being asked. Is there a winner? And then you look at the topic centered around the Board of Peace. I don't know. Does anyone really take that serious? The Board of Peace? When you have someone that is head of what they call a Department of War in the U.S., and they say they don't follow silly rules of engagement. They don't, tie the hands of their soldiers. They just turn them loose so they can just go and, don't really care to repeat all of what he said, but what he said was not in support of any type of peace or any type of order. It's really, centered around more corruption, which comes to that point who is the criminal, you all? But the Board of Peace, can you trust it? The U.S. government itself, can you trust it? There's a crisis and people have lost trust in governments worldwide. This is a major conflict. It might even be a phenomenon. But the question is there a winner? Some people say, based on some things they've heard me say, oh, they consider me to be woke or on the left. Some say, that I'm too conservative, I'm on the right. And I say, the left, the right, these are two heads belonging to the same body. And I'm not concerned and or affiliated with either one of them. Both of them. They can meet their demise because a lot of you don't realize, even as they're pushing this concept centered around the Board of Peace, that this is the furthering of an agenda to colonize even more of the world. These are colonizers, you all. Just a new day. It's 2026, but it's the same colonizer, right? The offspring, their ancestors. These are the colonizers. And they want to send J.D. Vance, to deal with diplomatic talks. These people are liars. They're thieves. And they have no regard for life. I wish it wasn't true. But historically, it's true. And a number of you, it's unfortunate because you don't think what you call America today, you don't think it can survive without them. But wait a minute. I'm like, this place was thriving before they showed up. But when they showed up, it's been in decline ever since. So these are the colonizers. And they made their way to even these lands called now America. And they want you to forget what happened, who they are, what they did, who their ancestors are. They say, oh, that's a long time ago. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Them people, they are long gone. But yet, they have no regard for law. They have no regard for their own law. Right here, in the U.S., they have no regard for international law, but yet they want you to acknowledge a new concept centered around the Board of Peace. Let's be real. They don't honor peace. They don't want peace. What they want is to continue colonizing the world so that their concept of European superiority can reign over the entire world. But the part and or portion of the world that they do reign and where they have been, it's in decline. People are sick. Waters are polluted. The air is polluted. The food is polluted. The medicine don't help to heal you. Nothing they do is beneficial. I wish it wasn't true. I wish it wasn't true. But we keep trying to convince ourselves that there's something good that's going to come out of the leadership of these people, while we watch them run the entire earth into the ground. Now, why do I say the entire earth? Because right now, they are in leadership over the world. I mean, they say they're the superpower, and, right now, the world is under their leadership. And for that, the entire earth today, 2026, is suffering. And you all are trying to act like it's going to get better. You all are trying to act like this is normal. I'm telling you, if we don't identify that these people, they are the colonizers, and it is their aim to continue oppressing people worldwide and to use all of their resources to prop them up, as the rulers of the entire earth. That's their aim. That's their goal. And some of you chant and you cheer, right? As if you're going to have some victory with what they're doing. They'll use you for your energy and or your effort, but, you'll never be considered as one of them, or you'll never be favored, in their circles. You'll only be a lackey. And again, because a number of you are more concerned about your belly, like getting as many crumbs as you can get, because that's all it is. The crumbs that fall from the table, even if it's $1 million, $1 billion, these are crumbs that fall from their table. You're just a different type of slave. Those of you that fight to keep the colonizers in position, and or place. So, yeah, I kind of went off. Now I want to come back to, is there a winner? And the stage is open. That if you want to come up and you want to answer that question, is there a winner? So let's see, I think we got our first guest to come up on the stage. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. What would you like to add to the conversation here today?
It's not over yet, though. Well, I don't believe it's over. I think a lot of people are awake, but I think a lot of people are afraid.
Okay.
But it's a combination of a lot. It's the misunderstanding, it's the miseducation, as well as the misunderstanding of what actually has transpired. Unless you do research, and I mean tremendous research, it really will fall on a deaf ear. As a result of my studying, when I say various educational things that I've learned throughout the centuries, if it appears to fall on deaf ears or becomes argumentative, if you try
Okay.
to say something to someone that you know or someone that you think might be familiar with information, you clearly will find out that they have not. Uh, and this is not a put down, but I find that a lot of people haven't. I can tell because I used to teach, and I've been
Okay.
an avid reader since I was a child. So it becomes kind of nerve wracking when you try to tell them that everything has been twisted. And when you try to tell them that we weren't idol worshipers, and then they told us that we were idol worshipers, but yet they come steal all the idols. So come on, man. I mean, this is a total hypocrisy. Unless we stand up, we're not going to win. They're going to win unless we stand up and say, this is our ground. We've been here 7 million years. You've been here 6,000 years. It's time for you to go. And we need to take ownership, retake our ownership back. If you look at the buildings in some buildings in New York, you can clearly see the African heads on them. Go back and look at some of them buildings on Broadway. You'll see the buildings at the bottom of some of those buildings. You'll see African heads. Those buildings are probably 1,000 years old or more, but they destroyed a lot of those structures. The mounds, the pyramids, all that. You got to go back in order to understand this.
That's true. AJ, hold on 1 second, AJ. Hold on 1 second. We got Stephen Happy, and then we have Tizzy Manizzi. Stephen Happy.
I'm a 63-year-old black man living in Colorado. I don't eat kosher. I'm never going to Israel. What happens in Israel should stay in Israel. None of that affects me.
Okay. All right, thank you. Tizzy Manizzi.
What up? 45, Pennsylvania. And I think America and Israel are winning. I think they're doing the Lord's work.
You know, okay, all right, thank you. Appreciate you for your comment. Um, I'm gonna let the cat out the bag on you all. That was a loaded question. Is there a winner? In this scenario, there is no winner because the people are losing. The people are hurting worldwide. And it's as if we truly forget that. And if you're claiming there to be a winner, then you're like in support of the pain and the hurt that people are feeling globally. And you may want to try to separate yourself, from that because artillery shells or munitions are not landing in your backyard, but the people are hurting. Real families, right? These are, the ones that are like truly being affected, by this.
What about the
All right,
people in
we got
Iran?
somebody else. Hold on one second. We got somebody else that just came up. Nathan, I think. Go ahead, Nathan. Welcome to the stage. Is that Nate? Thanks. You just came up on the stage. Welcome to the stage. Okay, I'm gonna have to let you back down because. Okay, go ahead. You off the mic? All right.
Talking to me? All right. Well, what about the people of Iran? Because I've been hearing from the
Hold on,
people.
hold on, Tizzy. Hold on, Tizzy. Hold on, Tizzy. Let's see. Wide awoke. Go ahead, wide awoke. Wide awoke going once. If you're talking wide awoke, can't hear you. All right, wide awoke. Your mic is off, but if you're talking, we can't hear you. All right, I'm gonna have to let you down. I think they sending bots up here. I don't know what in the world is going on. All right, go ahead, Tizzy. Tizzy, my nizzy, go ahead. You were
My
trying
bad.
to ask a question about the people in Iran.
Yeah, the people in Iran that I've been listening to for, I don't know, the past year, like they really don't like the leadership in their country. They feel like they've been taken hostage for decades, and they're very thankful and happy that America and Israel are putting in the work to weaken the regime that they
Tizzy,
want to take over.
Tizzy, my nizzy, are you repeating something you heard, or you actually been over there and took a survey for the most part?
I said from the people in Iran that I listen to, the people that I communicate with, this is what they're saying to me.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
by their account, the vast majority, 80 to 90% of the people in Iran feel this way.
Okay. All right. Seemed like AJ wanted to say something.
Well, the thing is, like you said previously, who really is the winner when lives are being taken and fought over something that really doesn't belong to anyone but the master above? So lives are being taken, lives are being lost, and for whose usage?
I mean, the IRGC, the government, I mean, they mowed down approximately 30,000 people in January, just innocent people having a revolution in the streets. They're unarmed people, and that government just tears into them with machine guns and arrests them and hangs them. Like, they really are bad guys. Like, don't you guys know that there's bad guys in the world? Like, real bad guys?
Hold on for a second. So if you're gonna say that they doing that over there, they do that right here.
No, they don't.
Oh,
They
really?
don't. They really don't. If
Okay.
the police or the military in our country mowed down 30,000 people in Manhattan, it would be a big deal.
Apparently, you haven't been watching the news.
Or you tell me what's comparable.
Apparently,
Since
you haven't been watching the
No,
news.
you watch the news. Why don't you tell me what's comparable to the government mowing down 30,000 innocent people in the streets?
I'm seeing people unalived. I'm seeing people unalived in various cities throughout America, but yet you're telling me that no one's getting mowed down in the street. I can.
I said comparable, meaning that you can compare the two things. So
Oh,
just
really?
normal civilian violence between one another is not comparable to the government mowing down innocent, unarmed people in the streets because they're protesting.
Again, the comparison, I'm making a similarity or comparison. People are getting mowed down in the street in America. They're getting unalived.
All right, well, it's just not happening, bro.
He not gonna see it. He not gonna see it, AJ.
None of you
Hold on
guys
now.
see it. Where is that happening?
Hold on. We got a few new people that have come up on the stage. Let's see if we can get their thoughts. Valley of Real. Then we got my man Chef. Welcome back, Chef. Then we have Isaiah. Okay, go ahead, Chef. Valley is gone.
Hi, host. Long time. Anyway,
Yes, how are you?
yeah, I just wanted to respond to TZ. I mean, if you're looking at just mechanisms, right? So what you're saying is that the government is mowing down certain people, a couple of people in Iran, right? So now what's comparable in America, all right? So if you're talking about mowing down by the government, all right? How about the failed your Medicare, people who are denied Medicare, who are denied health, right, and they're dying, and how about the veterans who are homeless on the streets? How about nothing being done, but with all the pew pew incidents, citing Second Amendment rights? So all these things are all within the government's control in a first world country, not a developing country, a first world country, right? So now you want to compare the US with Iran. By right, by any standards, right, US should not be even be compared to Iran, right? Because even by just the numbers of people being unalived by failed policies or policies that are not enacted to save the people, to help your people, your own citizens, and now at the same time you're taking the same money that you've denied your own citizens to unalive other people in the name of so-called democracy and liberation. So where was the part where when you actually entered into Iran and say that, okay, I want to liberate those and maybe take vengeance for the people, 38,000 people or 60,000 plus people, whatever the numbers were, right, in the that were unalive during the protest. So now you add on to more blood to this list of the unalived. How does that work?
Okay. I appreciate you, Chef, for your comments right there. Hold on, Tizzy, my Nizzy. You'll have a chance. Just remember what was expressed. You'll have a chance to rebuttal. We want to go down the line and try to get the folks that have just come on the stage and give them an opportunity to speak. And for those of you that this is your first time, as a guest on the stage here, we have a rule. And the rule is you don't just come off your mic. When somebody else is talking, please let them finish their thought. When they're finished, then you'll have an opportunity to rebuttal. But if you're going to disrupt someone in the middle of their thought, I might just have to take you off of the stage. So I'm going to ask you to, just show a little restraint and a little respect. And the other thing is I will not allow for anyone to be disrespectful to anyone on the panel. This is not an echo chamber, you guys. Folks are going to come with their thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent. we need to hear each other out. And if there's a rebuttal, we'll let the rebuttal, take its place. We'll have a healthy conversation. All right. So let's go to Isaiah. I think it was Isaiah Yael. And after Isaiah, we're going to go to Amir. We're just going to go right on down the line. Then to welcome back, Truth. And then we're going to go to Craig. Isaiah, go ahead.
Peace and blessings to the panel. Peace and blessings to the host. How you
Right,
doing
thank
tonight? All right. Well, looking at world media, and to rebut the guy that was talking, we losing. America's losing over there. We're losing on all fronts. They lost all bases. Everything is gone. The people that are trapped there in Dubai, they can't fly home. They running from hotel to hotel. I mean, they cornered just like a rat. You understand? They cornered, and this is a wake up call. Those wicked in government, they being exposed. They got in this fight because they didn't want those Epstein files to get out. But however, they trying to plan this as biblical, and really it's really not, because all the people there are not the original people that was there, that was in the book. So they cosplaying, and my word, they cosplaying. But the thing about it is that all truth is going to be revealed. That's it. I rest my plane. Peace.
The other thing, we got Amir going to come up next, but thank you, Isaiah. You guys, because the stage is full, I know a number of us were passionate, about what's going on. Let's try to keep it, within a minute and a half to 2 minutes, so that other people will have an opportunity, to speak. All right, go ahead, Amir.
Hi, everybody. Peace and blessing to everyone in the live. Yeah, so I'm from Iran. I don't live there right now. Just to address the chef, what he said about the number of protesters who were unalived on the thing. Those numbers I've heard, like 90, 70, 60. Those numbers, none of those are correct. All of the people who were deceased were identified. Their number is 3,175. But you guys need to know that on the first 2 days of the protest, there were no casualties in Iran. But the third day, when the sleeper cells of CIA and the Mossad, is there a name for them? I would just call them the M people. The M people were activated. We have video footages of them just basically spraying people with their Gs, which we basically sat down the ambassadors from Europe, countries like UK, France, Western countries, Western European countries, just to show them what was happening, and they happily accepted it. Regarding the war was over about like the first 2 weeks, because the Pentagon has a doctrine, and this doctrine have simple mathematics that going against the $20,000 drones with $2 million missiles is just mathematically, it's a financial suicide. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. They've just been prolonging this war because Trump wants to save face. Thank you very much.
May I
Right.
respond to that real quick?
Hold on, we got 2 more people, and then we're gonna open the floor up so that you guys can respond. But just hold your thought. All right, Truth, go ahead, Truth.
How you doing, host? Great to see you again. Just to, address a certain point, when you want to make comparisons between what's happening in Iran and say that there's no comparison between that and the U.S., the government isn't mowing down people in the U.S., but you'd have to actually look at history and understand history to know that that's a faulty statement. Okay, because the government is the same government that did conduct the Tuskegee syphilis trials on citizens. It's the same one that did mow down people for protesting during the civil rights. It's the same one that did go and bomb an entire area in Philadelphia. It's the same government that actually has what we like to call political socioeconomic terrorism against minority communities. and marginalized communities. So, yeah, they may not be conducting public executions, but they're doing slow executions, because what they do is when they limit cause and they actually treat people like they're lesser than human, that's even worse. That's a worse fate, because you're not considered to be a human. You're not given rights. You're not seen as equal. And in a country that purports to be the #1 leader in democracy in the world, before you go and try to offer your democracy to other countries, your faulty sense of democracy at that, why not perfect it here at home first? Why not actually treat people with respect and dignity and give them what they pay into the system for? We're actually losing our funding for essentials in this country every day to support rogue states that are outside of this country, or to actually fight wars that make no sense. And while we're talking about innocent lives being lost and these people are calling for help and that's why we're there, need I remind you, we're actually witnessing several genocides that are happening right now, right here in real time. Okay? Gaza, Congo, Sudan. So, but we're not interfering with any of those. We're not stopping any of those. We're not actually going to the aid of any of those. So then it begs the question, why are we going to Iran? Ah, that's right, because they have natural resources that we can benefit from. That's why we're there. And that's why we're losing. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go to Craig. Hey, Craig, thanks for holding on. And then we got Sean. All right, Craig going once, Craig going twice. All right, Craig, we might have to move you up out of here.
Yeah, g'day. I'm just ringing calling in from Australia, mate, and I just want to agree with the last guy that was talking. He's spot on. Like Big Brother, just trying to take over, causing a lot of trouble in the world, and all they're there for is oil. And they got to look in their backyard. I've spent a fair bit of time in America, and they're not doing that good. You know, you look at their subway systems, what they put in, health, all that sort of stuff. They're not doing very good at all. I'm going to leave it with that, but yeah, good on you guys.
Okay. I did want to say this too, as to confirm something that Truth had brought out with respect to the families within Philadelphia. That was the Africa families, and that was 1985. That was the MOVE organization, and yeah, they destroyed an entire city block, you know, during that instant right there. Okay. So I think now, yeah, the stage is. Oh wait, Sean, did we do Sean, Stefan, or I think that's Sean Hepson. Sean Hepson, did you speak? Sean Hepson going once, going twice. Sean Hepson.
I'm here. I didn't speak as of yet.
Okay, go ahead, Sean.
To answer the question, I believe the U.S. and Israel is winning the war.
Okay, all
And
right.
to address what the gentleman just said, as the only and sole superpower on this planet we call Earth, you have to police it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Sean. At this point, we're going. Oh, Lord Frank. Then we're gonna open up the stage. The stage is full. I know Izzy Manizzi wants to respond or rebuttal. Lord
Please.
Frank. Lord Frank, welcome.
Thank you. Great to see you again. And hello, everybody. I hope everybody's well. I'm just going to try and make this very short and sweet. From my point of view, this war is a war for the actual soul of humanity. Now we have countries that are ex-slave owners, ex-repressors that call out for human rights, and we could see clearly how they treat their own people. So from there on, you could tell and expect how they're going to treat others. please keep in mind in Iran, they called out people to hit the streets and fight against the regime. And they said, we got your back, go in the street, we're gonna come right after you. And they just let them alone. God knows how many people have died ever since that time. But it's been very unfair on the Iranian people. But what I'm glad to see right now is from what we've been witnessing in the past few days, they're backing off. And humanity actually has some hope, because if Iran manages to win this war, us as normal people, we will have some hope that our rights will be respected, that we might actually have a positive outcome planet all over the planet, not just in America, everywhere. So this is what I hope to see, and it's always a pleasure seeing you guys and the host. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Frank. We got the nice one. Nice one. I'm gonna ask you to hold on just for a second. Nice one. Just for a second. We're gonna try to get to Izzy, my Nizzy. I know he been waiting to respond, and then I'll come back to nice one. So what were you trying to rebuttal, Izzy, my
All right.
Nizzy?
Well, the guy's gone, but he said he was from Iran, and he was saying how there were only 3,100 and whatever. I mean, that guy sounds like he's just, repeating IRGC state propaganda, which is fine. Maybe the IRGC is true. Maybe they're honest, but their track record hasn't been that way. And they have American blood on their hands. They have been calling for an end to America and Israel for 47 years. And this concept or this idea that America is losing this war is absolute delusional cope. Like on day one, America, the first day of the war, the supreme leader was sent to wherever they go after they stop breathing. He went there, including everybody else in the leadership. The second layer of leadership, their whole Navy is a submarine. Their Air Force is no more. Every day they have fewer launchers, fewer rockets, fewer resources. The idea that Iran, the IRGC, is winning this war in any way is absolute psychotic, crazy cope. It's weird. But, the real story here is the Iranian people who want to overthrow this government as well, the IRGC, who has been a Nazi Islamic dictatorship and has held these people hostage, and they want their freedom. And the idea that America is losing this war or that these people are going to be left out to dry is insane. And then
All right, hold on, Tizzy. We got you right there. Let's go to nice one. And I'm sure someone may want to rebuttal, what you're saying with respect to.
Okay, fair enough. Everyone has their own opinion, and thank you for letting me join. I'm English, but I live in the Netherlands, so been living here for a very long time, and a well-travelled person, business-wise, with Iran and Egypt and so on. So, I as I said, there's no winners in a war because too many people die. But I hope that the Iran and they do push back the states, the bases to be removed out of Saudi Arabia, and Israel to be put in its place, because it cannot go on anymore like it is anymore. The situation in Gaza is still going on. They're still mercilessly killing people. Lebanon now, and the West Bank as well. It's as if the UN has closed its eyes, sadly. And if they talk about boots on the ground, well, put boots on the ground in Gaza. to protect. I had a message from Bissam, who's been.
We lost you, nice one. We lost you. If you're talking, we can't hear you. All right. The nice one is having issues with his communication, his mic. Your connection is bad. Nice one. Can you hear us? Can you hear? Okay. I'm gonna have to put you on mute for a second because we can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're having some technical difficulties there. All right. And I can't. It will not mute his mic. Okay, nice one. You're gonna have to come back up because it won't let me mute your mic, and we're not able to hear you. So if you're in the audience, you can come back up. We just got to try to get a reset on your mic and everything. All right, guys. At this point, we're going to open up the stage. I think we've heard from everybody that's on the stage. The last person that spoke was Tizzy Manizzi. I'm sure someone may want to, rebuttal what he was, expressing. So who wants to go first?
If you don't mind, I'd like to actually take a shot at that. So you hear that we are the only superpower and it's our job to police the world. So who polices the police when they're corrupt? Who polices the police when they're corrupt? Because at the end of the day, yes, we are a superpower. But at the same time, we're a superpower that abuses that power. We abuse international law. We abuse the rights of humanity and sovereignty of other nations. Okay, and while we want to sit here and say that Iran calls for the destruction and for this and that, what do you think the rhetoric from the government of the United States has been all throughout? From 1956 Operation Ajax in removing Mossadegh and then instilling the Shah and then removing the Shah, and then they are the reason that we have the current regime in Iran. So now we're vilifying this regime and saying that it has to go. So how many transformations do we have to create until we get the right actor that we want there? But at the same time, I do want to comment on something. The fact that you emphasized that they are an extremist or a terroristic Islamic regime there. Okay, number one, as a Muslim, I don't take kindly to that rhetoric because, that statement is completely false. What you guys have a problem with is the fact that that regime is exercising its right to sovereignty, the same way that we have the right to sovereignty in the United States, and we cherish that. And we wouldn't appreciate somebody coming into our country telling us how to do things. We've already placed sanctions on that country for how many decades, and we've restricted them and confined them. And the fact that they've still been able to exceed the expectations of what those sanctions would do to them is something that we find not to our liking and not to our taste. So obviously, we have to actually conjure up something where we now have the ability to go in there and seize the natural resources. What I find is that this is not democracy, but this is more propagandist rhetoric, and rather than democracy, we're engaged in hypocrisy. And I'm going to drop and make room on this panel. But thank you for having me up, host. I appreciate you. God bless, brother.
Okay, I appreciate your truth.
Well, I just want to remind that guy that the IRGC stands.
Hold on. We're gonna come back to you, truth. Let's get the two we got. We have here Shabuli and then Red. Shabuli, then Red, and then I think AJ wants to say something. Shabuli?
Hi everyone. I'm actually Iranian American, and it's wild to see the number of people around the world that are preaching for the IRGC and our dictatorship government. It's sad to watch, and for every Muslim that's offended somehow that the brother Muslims are killing our people, and torturing us on a daily basis and take offense to that is crazy. Like, if you really are saying that Islam is different than what we are experiencing, the least you could do is just back us up and say this is not the true Islam, rather than coming and saying that our experience is not real. That's all I want to say.
Facts.
All right, go ahead, Red.
No, I don't have anything to say. Sorry about that.
Can I say
Oh,
something,
okay.
sir?
We're gonna let you back down, Red. And AJ, we're gonna let AJ go, and then you can go, Sean.
Okay, I appreciate that. As I was saying previously, we got to look at the whole picture. Now, if we look at the whole picture, I like to ask the question first: why is it, or what is the connection between this country, Israel, to always protect Israel from this country, or changing the ideologies of other individuals to conform to the ideologies of this country? Is it totalitarianism, or are they answering to a regime of people which transpired in the early 1500s? I call them the Nine. And the Nine is controlling the whole world. People are not looking at the whole picture. It's a paradigm. That's all I had to say.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Sean.
I want to say this. The people that support Iran, you're supporting Iran from the comforts of the United States of America. The people of Iran, like the lady just now spoke, have spoken. Whether it's nothing that you're going to like 100%. Absolutely nothing is 100%. So therefore, you're either going to be on one side of the coin or the other side of the coin. Now, however you want to look at it, the comforts of the United States is the reason why people are killing themselves to get into this country, not killing themselves to leave this country. Everybody that's supporting Iran, nobody wants to go there and live. This is the only country where people complain so much and nobody wants to leave. That's all I have to say right now. I'm going to still listen. Thank you.
All right. All right. Okay. Let's see who we got. All right. I think everyone has spoken, at this point. So we can open the stage back up if you guys wanted to add to the conversation, and or if there were any rebuttals that need to go out. Go ahead, Lord Frank. Seemed like I saw you coming off.
Thank you, Nicholas. I just wanted to remind everybody that there happens to be some regulations and laws, specifically when it comes to United Nations charters, that no country has the right to interfere in other countries, especially that what we've been seeing from the very start from both the US and Israel, the crimes committed against them, from the bombing of the embassies, the assassinations of their leaders. These are war crimes. There's specific rules when it comes to war crimes. Not to mention the very people that have committed and ordered these actions are actual felons. They have numerous counts of felony charges against them, starting from the Israeli prime minister and the current president in America, Trump. This is very serious stuff, which gives them absolute no right to start with having opinions on other countries' affairs. But the actions being committed against the civil populations, the bombings of schools, housing, and other infrastructure is vital for people's lives, ordinary lives. These are highly, gravissime war crimes that nobody seems to pay attention to. But there has been violation of several United Nations charters that has to be taken into account before we take the conversation to who is right, who's bad, who's good. You know what I mean? This is stuff that we really need to focus on. Thank you.
All right, Lord Frank, we thank you for that. We got Dawn Mayberry that just came up. Lord Frank, we thank you for your comment there. Hold on, Dawn, welcome. What you want to add to the conversation? If you're talking, Dawn, you're on mute. Dawn Mayberry going once. Dawn Mayberry up on the stage twice. Okay, Dawn Mayberry, we're going to have to move her back into the audience because she's having some issues. She can't find her mic.
I got
Can
it.
I?
I found it.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. All right.
Sorry about that.
All right. Go ahead, Dawn.
Thank you. I was trying to respond to Lord on one of the things that he said. It's been proven that we did not bomb that school in Iran, so I'm gonna clarify that. Actually, Iran did it to try to blame it off on us to make us look bad. That's already been proven. That's all I want to say on that fact. But I mean, the Iranian people has been abused and for many years. They've been killed. Their own government has done them horrible. And they have begged for somebody to come in there and help them. And I agree with Trump going in there and helping them. That don't include that they did not mind coming over here on 911 and killing our people.
Hey, Dawn.
Yes.
You're going to have to up your TikTok vernacular and go to unalive, because
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I do apologize.
Okay. Go ahead, Dawn.
But they unalived, thousands of people over here on 911. So, y'all have to take that into the people who's in the conversation has to take that into effect. That don't include that they was threatening the United States over and over and over and over again. So, as far as I'm concerned, Trump did it to protect us and to keep them from doing something to us, which I completely agree with. So,
Okay.
I support Trump on that issue.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
You can hang on the stage if you want. I'm sure someone may want to rebuttal you. Let's go to I Love Black People, and then we're going to try to open up the stage a little bit more. And I Love Black People. Go ahead. If you're talking, we can't hear you. Going once. I Love Black People. Going once. All right, we're going to go to KWEKU. KWEKU. I wish I could pronounce that. All right, KWEKU. Kuiku. All right, Dub.
Yes, how you doing, bro?
Good, Dub. What you want to add to the conversation?
Where should I start at? You have people who believe this propaganda. Netanyahu for 30 years has been prodding and poking the United States to get into a war with Iran when Israel is the only country in the region with 90 nukes. How can an obliterated nuclear program be a threat to the United States? We all know that that's false, as most of the information that's coming out. It's the level that these people just believe it is unbelievable. And for the people who are, and contrary to popular belief to what the guy said earlier, there are millions of people who are leaving the United States, giving up their citizenship because they know what's coming. that's coming with a super hyperinflationary period that's going to last about a decade, and prices are going to rise a minimum of 7% across the board. So people are leaving the United States, and wealthy people are too. You can go look up the stats. I'll land my G6 there.
Okay, let's go to Osama. Osama,
Hello, hello, sir.
Why?
Yeah, thanks for having me up. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say, I just want to use the word "what if." You know, what if a lot of that's the information that's coming up on the media is propaganda and lies and excuses to want to go into a war that we shouldn't go into. And a lot of the propaganda seems to point at we are going into this war for humanitarian reasons. Now, if that's the case, you know, there's a lot of other countries in the world that require us to go to war too as well. You know, whether it be in South America or in Africa, there's a lot of governments that treat their citizens badly and poorly. So why is it that we are focused on Iran solely? And it leads me to believe that it's not for humanitarian reasons. It's reasons beyond that, you know, where Iran happens to be rich in natural resources. But also, you know, when there are claims being made by the media where 30,000 protesters were unalived, I mean, that we're taking their word for it. There are no videos that display that. You know, people are unalived and executed in Saudi Arabia every day, for example, right? Why don't we have a problem with that? Well, it just so happens that Saudi Arabia is our ally. So I think there's a lot of hypocrisy, and people need to kind of explore different sources, different media outlets outside the U.S. to know what's really going on. You know, and the last thing that I do want to say is we tend to say a lot over here in the media that the majority of the Iranian people don't want the regime, but the reality that we hear from the other side is the majority of the people do want that regime. So who's saying the truth and who's not, you know? So that's all I wanted to say is just don't believe everything you hear on the media and do further investigating to find out what the truth is. That's all I have to say. Thank you for letting me up. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Let's go to
Can I say
user.
something? Can I say something?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. We'll come back to you. Let's see. User 1459. I think that's what that is. Oh, user 845. 8145. Wow, I'll get it right. User 8145. Going once. User 8145 going twice. You up on stage. If you're talking, your mic is muted. Okay, guys, we're going to get user out of here. Go ahead. What did you want to say?
The gentleman before me said, I would like to rebuttal what G9 said,
Okay.
because I'm presently in the United States and I deal with facts, not fiction. The United States in 2023 grew at a 1% rate. Between 2004 and 2005, it grew at a 0.5% rate. That's citizens, not illegals. That being said, to sustain a society, it should grow at a 2% rate. People are not leaving the United States. People are staying in the United States. The United States is the only place where we have these type of freedoms. Like I said once before, nobody's going to agree with everything. He mentioned about Israel having nuclear weapons. If a country already has nuclear weapons, we're forced to have them at the table. But when you have a radical Islamic regime that doesn't have nuclear weapons, we cannot allow them to achieve nuclear capability. We offered them the, when I say we, I'm talking about the United States. We offered them the opportunity for us to give them the nuclear capability so they could sustain their society. They turned us down. They wanted their own nuclear capability. We can't give you nuclear capability because we do realize if one nuke is set off, it's Armageddon. Everybody dies. So we have to have sensible, clear-minded, somewhat, not gonna say clear-minded, somewhat clear-minded leaders all over the world that knows that, all right, yeah, we have this capability, but it's capability that we don't want to use. Nobody wants the end of this planet to end. Nobody wants to die.
And everybody agrees that
That was the whole reason during the time period of Ronald Reagan in the Soviet Union. That's the peace agreement they made. They're building up these nuclear stockpiles for what?
Okay. All right. Hold on, Sean. User 8145 is back. Are you ready to talk now?
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Thank you for allowing me to join. My name is Jay, if you want a better reference.
Okay. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I listened to a couple of the last speakers there. I think the what if proposition is a very good proposition to think about. There is a lot of false information there. Iran is a sovereign country. It is the only country in Middle East that is not a vassal country to United States. It has tried to stay independent, and it has a history since World War I that has been subjugated by the British and the Americans. And they suffered one of the worst famines that was imposed in the history of the mankind with respect to the size of their population, worse than the Irish famine. Okay, so they know how they have been exploited, and they have every right to want to be independent and away from subjugations of the colonial countries. So they never had any nuclear Armageddon intentions. They wanted to have a nuclear program. In fact, the first religious leader of the country had an edict against any weapons of mass destruction, a religious edict. So there is a lot of misconceptions about the country that is incorrect and invalid. We're going into a war for sake of the greater Israel. That's all it is. This war is a good distraction for, capturing and occupying a significant portion of the Lebanon. About 1 million people have been displaced in Lebanon in a matter of the few weeks since this war has started. Nobody's paying attention to what is going on in Lebanon, but that's another Gaza that is happening right now. And
okay, hold on, Jay. We thank you for your comments, guys. I'll tell you again, the stage is full, so we're going to open up the stage now for further comments, for any rebuttals that are out there. And I do want to say this: we got a whole lot of people in the room that's listening. So you guys just tap the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. The Daily Hotmere is up there. Do repost the live. Do share, the live. And
Oh, sorry, can I say something in response to the last few people that talked?
Sure, I'm gonna come to you, Don. We're gonna come to you. Hold on. And what Sean was talking about as far as the nuclear option, he was talking about that mutually assured destruction, right? And that's just to put that out there, from that standpoint. But yeah, I appreciate you all for coming, into the live. You guys have, definitely expressed your views, and it's not an echo chamber. We got a lot of different views, out here. We're gonna go to Dawn, and then I think from Dawn, I think that was okay. I can't forget who was after Dawn trying to come on, but go ahead, Dawn. You say you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
I did. Thank you very much. Sean, I agree with him completely. The gentleman before him, he was saying, why don't we go help these other countries since we're trying to help the people of Iran? Okay, the point is that Iran was threatening publicly over and over again the United States. That's the reason why we did what we did for, towards Iran, is to protect ourselves. And he needs to understand that. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. I appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Anybody wanted to add, to that or rebuttal? That.
Yes,
Anybody
I
got
would,
something?
if
Okay,
if
go
that's
ahead.
okay. I wanted to talk to some of the statement that I think is Osama, and I can't see his full handle, said, talking about getting reality versus propaganda, and somehow everything that comes out from IRGC in his statements were the reality, and everything that come from the Iranian people on our side was the propaganda. I'm curious to know where he's getting his reality from.
Okay, Obama, you want to respond to that? Osama, I'm sorry, Osama.
Yes,
If you
yes.
okay, go
So
ahead.
I'm originally Lebanese. My dad is currently in Beirut right now. So there's multiple news outlets. I look into multiple news outlets. I don't just look into one side, because news, as you know, can be extremely biased. Now, I'm not saying that the IRGC, everything they say is true, but I'm skeptical on both sides. But looking at the history of the wars that we as the United States engaged in the past, for example, the war against Iraq, claiming that there's weapons of mass destruction when the reality was there wasn't, and then so it happens that they have oil over there. I'm going to be skeptical of any war that we engage in. Now, to the lady earlier, Dawn, saying that they say publicly threatening the U.S. I can tell you, I've been to South America, in countries where we go and take their resources, grow on, whether it be pineapples, bananas, or oil, and you talk to the local people over there, they don't like us here either. It's just they probably are not expressing it, or they're not making news or on TV saying what their feelings are. But there are a lot of countries throughout the world where we're not liked, and it has to do a lot with us trying to control the world resources. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying is we can't believe everything word for word of what we're being told over here, and the same on the other side. But we need to analyze things differently and see what's the main objective of this war. And I find it hard to believe that it's solely for humanitarian reasons or for reasons saying we need to protect ourselves, because at the end of the day, Iran was no direct threat to the US. Maybe to Israel, but not to the US. And this is not our war.
Okay,
That's
could I
all I have to
respond to
say.
that?
I would
May I
like to
respond?
respond to that.
Can I?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
Shibuli.
hold on one
So,
second.
as an Iranian, I want.
Hold on 1 second. We'll let Izzy Manizi respond, then Sabuli, you can respond, and then I think Dawn wanted to go. So go ahead, Izzy.
All right, well, I'll be quick because I want to hear Shibuli. But I do want to remind everybody that the IRGC is like the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. So it is very much religious based. and they are, deemed a T group by many, many, many countries and have been for a long time. Like, these people are not good. And no, it's not solely for a humanitarian purpose. We're not coming in to be the saviors of the Iranian people. They don't need that. They're going to do this on their own. We have to take care of this threat, which is this crazy country across the street who's been swearing up and down that they're going to get us. And as soon as they build this weapon that they're working on, and for years and years, we just watch them collect the parts and put the stuff together. And what do we just wait until they can do it? No, we're not going to let them have it. They're bad people. And it just so happens that the people want a revolution. So we love the Iranian people. We were so friendly. They're very Western. Israel's very Western. I'm sorry. The Western world and the radical Islamic world have been at war for a long time. And, people keep talking about Beirut. I'm paying attention to Beirut. And that's where Hezbollah is. Like, all these radical Islamic terror groups are causing all the problems. And you guys want to sit here and act like America's the real problem. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, Shabuli, and then Dawn.
Um, I agree with Tizzy. I also wanted to add that as an Iranian, I also don't get my news from the news outlet that much. There are a lot of propaganda out there, but for anyone outside Iran or anyone that's not Iranian to come and tell us Iranian that what we are saying, that we hear through, I don't know, just phone calls from our parents, our family members, our experiences are incorrect because they've read it somewhere in a news, uh, whatever, that the numbers are wrong or this or that. That's just bullshit. Like, if Iran really is telling the truth, they can actually bring the internet up, let the Iranian people have access to the world, let them speak up for themselves. But they don't want to do that because right now, as the war is going on, they are arresting people, they're executing people, they're confiscating their belongings. There's so much happening to the Iranian people as the war is going on. Not that they're only being bombed, but they also have to fear from their own government much more than they fear from the bombs. And the only way we can connect to our family members and talk to them is maybe if every few days we can get a phone connection. So don't come and tell me about the news you read somewhere because most of them are bullshit. And also, none of the Iranians think that US and Israel are here to freedom and that's the only agenda that they have. No, we think that our freedom can be aligned with their agenda. Their agenda is probably whatever fight they have with China over oil. But to be honest, to us, it doesn't matter because we are not getting the money from that oil anyways. IRGC is spending that money all over, giving it to Hezbollah, giving it to all their proxies, building missile cities under the ground. They ruined our environment. They did so much to our country. Our country was a rich country and they somehow managed to make it so poor that 50% of our population is living in poverty right now. And it's gonna just get worse. Without internet, how many businesses actually rely on internet these days? So at no point we can say that IRGC is doing any of this for the Iranian people. And even if they're using a school shooting as an excuse, it's just because of people like you that actually hear it and try to use it as an excuse to go against.
Okay, all right, hold on, Shabuli. You guys remember, try to keep your comments within 2 minutes because the stage is full and other people do want to, get their thoughts in. We'll let, who was that? Dawn. Dawn, you did want to respond, and Shabuli, if you can remember your thought, we can come back to you. But we just kind of want to kind of let people, rebuttal, have a chance because the stage, it is full. Go ahead, Dawn.
Thank you. Shabuli is exactly correct. I completely agree with her. The gentleman before her is exactly correct. I was responding to the gentleman that said my name personally. I don't listen to the news. I watch videos of the Iranian people and what they say. I listen to them. I don't listen to the news. I don't believe in the news because they give false information. So the news I get is from them. So I don't think in that they are lying. So I just wanted to correct that. Thank you.
Okay. Guys, I just want to point out right now, I mean, we have a lot of mixed emotions, on the stage with respect to what's going on. And, I did provide my thoughts, and I know there's a lot of support, for both sides. And I just have to put out there, I'm here in the US and I could never side with the oppressor. And I know folks have said what they want to say about, this being America, but it's true. The Persian people are, a people that they deserve the self autonomy, their heritage. And I know we have someone on the stage, that is Iranian. So I mean, they have a right to speak, to their history and to their heritage. But I can't, act as if, as people right here in America still, are being oppressed, as if them going across the water, as if they're like trying to liberate, some other, people. I can't go for that, So I realize, I realize that, the concept of colonization has happened and it's kind of went unnoticed. But if we're talking about international law, there's been a movement since the 60s from the UN called decolonization. Very few people are talking about it, but they say that colonization is a big problem. Okay. And if that is the case, we haven't addressed the issue of colonization right here, in America, but, we do tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll have a regular scheduled discussion and we'll talk about decolonization. We'll talk about UN Resolution 1514 and we'll look at what it means to globally network with other people, other nations also that have successfully decolonized and come to understand what can be done. Because people don't think that America can be successful without the colonizer. And before they came, America was successful, but, we don't talk about those things because we're here right now. We're here now and this is what it is. And folks say that was a long time ago. And, those folks are gone and we don't have anything, to do with that. But there are a lot of mixed emotions, right now. And there was a question, posed up earlier. It said, is there a winner? Talking about the conflict between Iran, the U.S., and Israel. And can't forget about China, as they are the silent partner, into this. And a lot of people answered and they said the U.S. is winning. Some said Iran is winning. And, some agreed that there can be no winner because a lot of people are losing their lives. A lot of people are, hurt. And when you have conflict like this, there really can be no winner. When you have one nation oppressing another nation and or people, there can be no winner. And I'm just saying, I can't side, with the oppressor and try to act as if they're doing something valiant, for somebody else when right here we have an issue. All right, so we'll open the stage back up and give you guys a chance to communicate based on, the mixed emotions, based on the three demands, which I had not mentioned. I had the image up, but Iran, they had three demands. I'm not sure if you guys remember or know what those three demands are. If you don't, I can put them out there. And also the what is it? The IRGC, they had a warning, that they put out. And then we have the Board of Peace, you guys, that, is something that can be discussed as well. Do you really believe the Board of Peace is trying to bring about peace? Or is it just another arm, centered around, trying to colonize the world? All right, so I'll open the stage back up, at this point and look to hear from you guys. Who wants to be first?
Should I take a go at it?
Okay, Lord, go ahead.
Well, the Board of Peace, as you know, was created by Donald Trump with this only purpose of basically giving him diplomatic immunity for life. That means nobody could touch him. Besides that, he's getting millions and even billions from US taxpayers on a monthly basis. I don't know if you're aware of this. And whoever that wanted to join had to pay a fee of $1 billion. It wasn't like an open door for any country to join for free. It's basically a business that he started. So it's not anything that's serving public well-being, public purposes. It's only for him. But let's keep in mind also that what's going on in the United States and between Iran and the US, basically, the way I see it, I just stick to facts, people. The facts are the US government is paying billions every year to Israel. And Israel, in return, buys off all the politicians they possibly can. They get salaries on a monthly basis and bonuses. So this war with Iran, if Iran somehow manages to win, it's also going to be, in my point of view, a win for the US government, for the American people, basically, to have some freedom and independence and away from the dominance of the Israelis that have infiltrated the US government. So this is what I see happening. If we really want to stick to facts, none of this that we're seeing today is good. There is no sign of any kind of progress or any hope unless we eliminate all these infiltrations in the US government.
All right. I think the facts of the matter are you're just kind of like a pro-Islamic T group kind of guy. You like the IRGC.
No,
That's an Iranian accent. Sorry, just wanted to say that.
That's funny. So I think the IRGC is cooked. There's no way out for them. They will not exist. Iran, the people, will be reclaimed. And the real oppressors will be done. Ali Khamenei is dead. His son hasn't shown his face or recorded his voice if he's alive. The IRGC is done. That's what America wants. That's what America needs to ensure that Iran will not be a threat to us anymore or our allies, and they won't disrupt all of the flow of goods and services in that region anymore. They won't be there to fund Hezbollah, which is ruining Lebanon. By the way, the Lebanese people will be free again. Israel can relax. They don't have to put bomb shelters in their baby nurseries. You know what I mean? Like, we need peace in the Middle East. For real. You guys have been fighting forever.
Izzy, my Nizzy, did you just say the most recent Ayatollah is unalive?
The new guy, the son, he hasn't shown his face. He hasn't been recorded. He's supposedly released a written statement, which makes no sense. Rumors have it that he was injured very badly. He may be missing a leg. He may be in a coma. But you know what he's not? He's not being a supreme leader.
Reason why I asked because I hadn't heard it, and I remember a few weeks ago folks were saying the same thing about Netanyahu, and I had folks up here talking about, oh yeah, he's done, and
No, that was the same people that are lying about everything now. The IRGC, all they do is put out. Look, I mean, you got to look. The fact that they cut the internet for the people of Iran, that should be a big red flag of who the bad guy is. They don't want the truth getting out. They don't want the people showing what's going on there. They don't want them to. Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know if I can totally, go with you, right there. But your point is heard, and I just know folks were saying that Netanyahu was unalived, and it was certain. And then we had the videos, posted, of him, but he appears to be alive and well. So let's open the stage back up and see if there's anyone that wants to add to the conversation or rebuttal to anything, that they've heard, thus far. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay, you were trying to talk while Izzy was talking. And I had to mute you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jay.
Sorry, I don't know your name. But
C2K.
You're an older gentleman. But I'm not
C2K,
that far
that's my
from
name.
you.
That's my name, C2K, Jay.
C2K.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I missed Vietnam draft by a couple of years. So I was here when all of that was going on.
Okay.
All right. And the boogeyman at that time was the communism, right?
Okay.
And after that, we had Iraq, Afghanistan, different kinds of boogeyman, all to no avail, right? This is the same thing. Vietnam 2.0. There used to be a slogan in Iran as far as 20 years ago that kept saying, remember Vietnam, same thing in Iran. They have been prepared for that for a very, very long time. And this is either going to go to another Vietnam 2.0 for Donald Trump, or Iran is going to be completely dismantled unless it ends quickly. Because IRGC is not going anywhere. People who talk about it, they think it's a military thing. It's not. It's a socio-economic organization above and beyond its military strength. They're so economically ingrained in every aspect of the country that you have to do, yanking them out it'd be more difficult than a lobotomy. They're just in everything, in military industry, in every infrastructure industry, everywhere. They built themselves in the course of 40 years after the war with Iraq ended. They built their own cadre of kids that they put in high school, universities, graduate school, and they are running the country left and right. You can't get rid of them. It's not going to be that easy. So,
Jay, we appreciate you, for your comments there. I got two more people that just come up on the stage. I want to try and get their thoughts. SR Tab, and then we're going to go to Conscious. SR Tab, what you want to add to the conversation? SR Tab, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. Well, it's either peace or it's not looking good if peace doesn't happen next week.
Huh. Okay. All right. Thank you, SR. Let's go to Conscious.
Hey, thank you. Your name is the Cause?
Yeah, the cause or C2K, yes. Mm-hmm.
Mrs. C2K, thank you for having me up here.
You're welcome.
So I'm looking at the image of what your prompt is, right? And I'm like, damn, that's deep. I gotta say, like, all right, look, I don't support the Izzies. I don't, because I see so much G-side going on with that, and I see our country supporting the Izzies that support that, and then I already see what's going on. I'm 41 years old for reference. I'm from the state of Louisiana, and I'm a Democrat. Not that that matters, but I don't like all this imperialistic takeover for oil, money. It's up versus down. I don't like it. That's all I have to say for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, I had another prompt up, but today's panel is a truly diverse panel with mixed emotions. And one thing I do like to have on this panel is to where people can express their view, good, bad, or indifferent. And
Sure.
hopefully we can have a healthy discussion at the end. Like I may learn something. Izzy almost stumped me when he said the new Ayatollah, had been unalive. So, that he almost made me feel as if I missed something.
Wait.
But
Oh crap. I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was somebody in here named Izzy. I was speaking about the country because I was trying to use TikTok language.
yeah, he knew you wasn't talking about him.
Oh, all right, cool.
He knew you weren't talking about him. At least Izzy, you knew she wasn't talking about you, right?
Yeah. She's talking about the Jays.
Cool. All right, cool. Am I in a panel like where it's like I assume I can already see your face and you seem very sweet. Where it's like it's good to talk.
Well, like I said, this panel, good, bad, or indifferent, everyone has an opportunity to express their view. And somebody may want to rebuttal your view, but I will not allow for anyone to disrespect the guest, on my panel. And people don't just pop off their mic, say what you got to say. You got a minute and a half to 2 minutes to say it. And if somebody want to rebuttal, they can.
Right on. All right, cool. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All
right. Anyone wanted to, at this point, the stage is full. We've heard, from everyone that is up here. Anybody wanted to add to the conversation or bring out something new?
I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the lady that was just talking, I realize she's a Democrat, which doesn't matter to me. But it's not just about the money. It has to do with Iran was publicly threatening death to America. Death to America. Would you rather for us to go over there and take care of them and strike first, or them attack over here? Because there's millions of them over here right now. On top of the sleeper cells, on top of they can hit us at any time they wanted to. So my question to you is, which one would you rather have? Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Just to make sure that I'm understanding your question. So you saying that the countrymen over in Iran are chanting their chants. I won't say that to be respectful to the host and to the live, but that along with sleeper cells, Miss Dawn, what should I be comfortable with? Because the way I see it, it's not about the money. I think it's about us having a decorum in the U.S. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. Can you ask your question one more time? Because I think I misunderstood what you were saying.
Sure, hon. I was asking, we struck Iran first because,
Okay.
literally they kept threatening death to America, death to America. They hit the nuclear system, supposedly. And my thing is, that's a threat, a direct threat to the United States and all of
That
its
was 7
citizens.
months ago, right?
It
8
was
months
right
ago?
before he hit, yes.
8 months
And
ago. Okay.
so we hit them first.
Sure.
Okay, you don't know, and neither do I, how far they had gone and what their intentions was. So my thing is, maybe it was best that we did hit them first so they could not do nothing to us.
I think the intention was pretty clear if they were chanting that 8 months ago.
Yes, they
Also,
was.
no, the intention was clear if that were 8 months ago, correct? Yes.
Correct.
We both agree.
I mean, they've been chanting it for years, though. It's not just
Well, I
now.
mean, yes, that's also
Uh-huh.
true. Also,
Yeah.
two things that's true.
Correct.
Okay, so from my elementary sophomoric understanding, okay, look, we as Americans have put ourselves into multiple situations in the Middle East. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm not very proud of that. I don't like it. But here's where we are, okay? As a Democrat, and I'm not speaking for all Democrats, but what I will say is that the time would have come no matter what. Okay, but
Right.
underneath this administration, I feel like it was I don't feel, I know that it was done very poorly. And and there's just that. So we did things differently. 8 months ago, we sat there and said, underneath the administration of President Donald Trump, that it was completely eradicated. There was no more threat after we did what we did. Okay, but here we go again. 3 weeks ago. And I've got like lots of conspiracy theories, but I'm not gonna go into that because there are a lot of people on this panel. Here we go again, that it was completely eradicated 8 months ago, last June or June, I think it was. And it was done. So here we go. And then we do this school thing. And then, and now it's like, we're winning, we're not winning, we're winning, we're not winning. And I feel like this is just, and this is a feeling, it's not an actual fact. But what I'm seeing happening is it's a play against the people that are in power, especially the billionaires that are in power. And I feel like the president, who is also a billionaire with billionaire friends, is playing the system with the stock market to make their money against the people of Iran. Even though the Alatoya should probably have been addressed, years ago, but or it was bound to happen if it wasn't years ago. You understand? But we also created that problem. I'm gonna land my plane. If I sound ignorant, I don't think I am, but I think there's a lot more that we have to cover. But it's a longer conversation. But I don't want to take up too much of the panel's time.
Okay, thank you, Conscious.
You're welcome.
Big Mike. We got Big Mike is new to the stage, Z51. Big Mike, what you want to add to the conversation?
Okay, I've been on here, I guess, for the last I think 2 hours, just listening to everybody's comments. I am a veteran. I served in Desert Storm, Uphold Democracy, Enduring Freedom, and Iraqi Freedom. And I look, well, first of all, I look at in the first 6 days of the war, it cost the U.S. I think it was $11.3 billion in the first 6 days. And then they're asking for $200 billion more dollars. Now, as a taxpayer, I have a problem with that, And to go back, I guess somebody said something. As far as planning with no exit strategy, because that's what it looks like to me. You know, like there is no exit strategy in this conflict. Everybody I've been listening to are referring to it as a war. Yes, we know that Congress is the only one can make that declaration. However, like I said, I served in many campaigns, and they call them wars because technically they are. When you send 2 carrier strike groups to a region, and everything is going on as it has been, and people like to refer back to President Obama did military strikes. He didn't send strike groups to regions. It was, anyway, the bottom line is I don't support what we're doing. I'm a veteran, and even when I look back, sometimes I feel like I was deceived. I did my duty because, I understood my oath, but that oath does say that you, as a soldier, sailor, marine, or whatever, that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the United States. It doesn't say that we're going to go into these other countries, and I'm gonna end this real quick, and do what we do. We're choking Cuba right now, and all the remarks of they're next, as far as takeover. Cuba's right now, they're not going to be able to defend themselves against us. However, they are preparing. We go into Venezuela and we think because we use our elites to take Maduro and them out of power, that we can just walk into any country and do what we want. Okay, I'm gonna stop for now.
All right. Hey guys, I want to say we got a lot of people in the room. You tap the screen. It does not cost you anything. You can tap the screen. It's free, right? Then there's the Daily Heart Me. That's up there. Make sure you go into the Daily Heart Me and do share the live, repost the live. I do see you guys, sharing it, reposting it. I want to say thank you. We do have today, like I hadn't seen a panel set up like this in a minute where, there are mixed emotions, right here. People that like are truly passionate about what they're passionate about. And we all need to be heard in this day and time. And I think that if we could reason a little more before we feel like we, need to injure one another, it probably could be a better place, but we're going to do what we can, on this panel to let each other be heard. So the stage is full, so we're going to open it up. And Big Mike just spoke to see if anyone have anything they want to add, or
I do.
is there rebuttal?
Dawn does.
Wait, hold on a sec. Hold on, Don. I think Dub C. Were you trying to comment, Dub C? If you're talking, you're on mute. I saw you come off, Dub C. Something. You must have a bad connection, Dub C.
It should be fine now.
Yeah, I think you have a bad connection, man. Something going on with your connection. Okay, go ahead, Dawn.
Okay, thank you. The gentleman that was just speaking, I don't know his name. I do apologize for that. I'm not following the names. I wanted to thank him for his service. I greatly adore anyone that has fought to protect the United States, and I thank you so much. I really adore you for that. The lady that was talking before him concerning me, I just wanted to tell her, she brought up the school thing. It's been proven that we did not hit the school. Iranians did and blamed it on us. That is true.
Okay.
It's been proven.
Hold on, conscious. Let her say what she has to say, and then we'll
I thought it
make.
was under investigation. That's what came out of Trump's mouth.
It was under investigation. We did not do it. Iranians did it.
No, that's a big lie. I have all the UN reports on that.
Everybody on mute. Everybody mute up. That's the type of thing we don't have on this platform. You don't just pop off your mic and start talking. It gets very chaotic. Okay? Dawn was talking. Let Dawn say what she got to say. Like everybody has spoken, and people do not interrupt you. So one thing I do ask guys, don't come off your mic just because somebody say something that, it emotionally strikes you. Just maintain a little bit of, discipline. And when they get done, you'll have an opportunity to rebuttal. I would appreciate that. Okay. Dawn, finish your thought. And we got somebody new on the stage. Kathy is on the stage. We're going to try to get to Kathy, and then we're going to ask for any rebuttals based on what Dawn is saying. Seem like, there's some rebuttals out there.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead. Finish your statement, Dawn.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. I did allow her to finish everything she had to say, but it has been proven that we did not hit that school. But either way, there's things in the government we don't know that's going on. And as far as I'm concerned, they're protecting us. I don't care what they do as long as the United States is protected. It's as simple as that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's go to Kathy C, and then I think you guys do want to rebuttal what Dawn is, what she has expressed. Kathy?
Thank you. I apologize for interrupting Dawn. I'm new. First time I've seen this chat room or whatever you call it. I'm a new American. I'm from Canada originally, but grew up in California, but never wanted to become an American because I never trusted any government until I saw Trump. That's the only reason I became an American. I'm a Christian. I read my Bible. I know there's nothing new under the sun. And I look at these wars and I think whoever has a good king, God's going to protect them. And who has a bad king, you see it over and over again, they will demolish themselves. I follow Promethean action. They have been studying this situation for over 50 years. And they go back to the British imperialists and the globalists and the elites who wanted to take us over with the New World Order. They wrote that Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum wrote the book COVID-19, The Great Reset. It says they want to take us out. We're bottom feeders. You will own nothing. And this is Trump stopping this globalism because he wants, and if you listen to what comes out of his lips and only out of his lips, he said he wanted sovereign nations to shine uniquely. And that's what he's trying to do, is bring back countries to have their own sovereignty. But we cannot have that with these the Islam terrorists that are practicing Sharia law. That does not coincide with Christianity and Judaism or even Hinduism or any other thing, or atheism. We cannot have one that wants to conquer and take out the other. It will not go. And God will not allow that, because I don't think Allah is God. When you don't kill, steal, treat your women like an animal, marry girls at 8 years old. That is not godly. I don't know what that is. I've studied the Quran. I have friends that are Muslim. They're from Morocco. We've had great discussions on this. But what I'm seeing right now is there's a shift, a huge shift. And first of all, he had to take away the money from the British imperial bankers. And in order to do that, he had to take the narco money out. That's why he went to Venezuela first. You cut the narco money off, it doesn't go back into the British imperial hands. Then he goes over to get the oil. That's how he's stopping that. The Brits have had their hands a stranglehold on the Middle East since they discovered oil there over 100 years ago. And if you follow back the history, they have been making sure there's been chaos over there consistently. Because if there's chaos, they can put division. If we're distracted with division, they can keep taking a little more of your freedom, a little more of your money, a little more of your freedom, a little more of your money, and you don't notice what's going on. And then they pay off the deep state. All these politicians who say that they're working for the people, they don't work for the people. They're
Woo. Okay, Kathy, hold on, Kathy. I know you said it's your first time. Okay. All right. We got a lot of people, Kathy. What we try to do is get our thoughts out within 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. And I think we got you, and we can come back to you. And I'm sure some folks want a rebuttal. I do have somebody new that came up on the stage. I can't pronounce the Arabic writing.
Hello, yes, you can call me Mo. That's the easiest way. Okay.
Okay, so we got Mo that's up on the stage, you guys, and then we're going to open it up for the rebuttal, because from Kathy to Dawn, to Big Mike, I believe you guys may have some things that you want to rebuttal. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to ignore the Muslim hatred. That's not a problem. But I'd like to talk a little bit about facts. Fact of the matter is, I'm actually originally Iraqi. I'm a Sunni Iraqi, so I am no friend of Iran at all. I've actually spent around 35 years fighting Iran. So I'm not a friend of Iran, but these are the facts. The lady said about Sharia law, Iran are Shia. They don't practice Sharia law. So you don't even know who you're fighting. The fact of the matter is, Trump is obeying Israel. The plan is to completely destabilize the Middle East to achieve Project Greater Israel. The Arab countries do not have any power. They are under the hand of America, and we have seen that America didn't even fulfill the contract that America had with those countries, which was to actually protect them. America did not protect them. America allowed them to be bombed. But regardless, they are weak, so it doesn't matter. So the only powerful state is Iran, and that's the only one left. After Iran, Israel will be free to implement Project Greater Israel. Now, Project Greater Israel means taking Lebanon, Syria, half of Iraq, and a quarter of Saudi Arabia and the Sinai Desert. Israel is already taking parts of, the West Bank is gone. They're taking half of Lebanon already, and they're already encroaching into Syria and into Egypt. So this whole idea of protecting America, Iran was never a threat to America. Now, the chant "Death to America" started in 1952, when America overthrew an elected prime minister for the crime of nationalizing the oil. His name was Mohammad Mossadegh, and he got into power, and he realized that the Iranians were only getting 16% of their oil. So he nationalized it, and because he did that, the CIA organized a coup against him and had him unalived. And they brought in the Shah of Iran. The Shah of Iran formed a group called the Savak, which were basically trained by Mossad, and he ruled until 1979 with an iron fist, basically unaliving anybody who even looked at him funny.
Okay. All right. Hold on, Mo. Mo is bringing out some history based on Operation Ajax. If you guys haven't, heard about that, you can look into it. It tells you what the U.S. and what the MI6, how they were maneuvering over there. And I don't know what Kathy did, but, warnings came up on the screen that the live would be restricted if she was not removed. So, guys, let's be considerate to one another while we're here. We know, again, with mixed emotions and the different perspectives that we all have, but we should at least be respectful, to one another and let folks, say what they have to say and not get yourself, banned or so, I guess, emotionally overworked that, you lose it. Okay, it's not worth it. Let's see, we got Raza Lowe. Welcome back, Raza. How are you?
Hi, welcome. Salam alaikum to all the Muslims and to the rest. It's Razia, by the way, but it's okay, pops. Yeah, I'm Turkish ethnically. My mom's Bosnian Turkmen. Basically, I combine the area a bit of the Balkan. Salam to my Iraqi brother as well. I know about his struggle.
Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Yeah, what can I add to this? Anyone who has a sane mentality and who can see through somewhat of a geopolitical fact checks is able to see that the whole West is built upon the wealth of the Middle East and the African continent, and they didn't inherit that because of their brilliance. They inherited because of their brutality, and that brutality of them is only be shown to be worse and worse the more technology they inherit. As a Turk myself, and the Ottoman Empire was basically something that the Europeans couldn't get over with, still don't. So I know how to be discriminated. We are the black people of the European Union, if I may say it that way. I'm sorry. And it's all because of the fact that back in the day, they were able to suppress people, and there was an empire growing enough to suppress them back and be able to show them who has muscles as well. But it was an empire that was honest, fairly, didn't oppress or suppress you to uphold someone's religion, language, and such. That made difference as a Muslim, but at the times we are now, we can tell that a lot of our leaders are failed. We have failed leaders, okay? We have failed systems. And those systems have been implemented by the West, generally. The United States, Europe, colonizers, whomever. I just call it the West because they're never on their own. It's never no one country. They work together. Just like in Syria, when you expect that it's actually an internal battle, nobody really knew what was going on. All of Europe, the United States, Russia, China, everybody was there plundering their oil. Basically, 50 million refugees, lots of people were unalived. Even when Assad left, they came to find out there were underground prisons where children were even born, like they never seen the outside world. My bad, wait.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So, guys, now we can open up the stage for the rebuttals. If there are any rebuttals, who would like to be first? Or if you have just something you want to add to the conversation based on something you heard.
I would like to add something.
Okay, go ahead, Conscious.
Rozzy, and to the gentleman that was speaking before Rozzy, I really appreciate the lessons, the history lessons. I knew briefly about 1952, 1979, and I knew about the Turks, but I didn't hear about that from people that were there. So I'd like to hear more from y'all on the panel, if that would be okay.
Okay.
If I
Thank you for the love.
I do tell you, Conscious, one thing I'm working on, with Razi. Oh gosh, I gotta get her name. Hold on. Razi.
Guys, it's easy. Don't see the I as an I. I'm gonna change it into a Y. Then you can read it up
How
as
do we say
Razia.
it?
It's Razia with a Y.
Raja.
No, Razia. It's an R and a Z. Razia.
Raja. I'm a
It's
dumb
okay.
American. Forgive
No,
me.
no, of course you're not. It's okay.
No,
I'm gonna change my
wait.
name the way I write it though. But
No. Raja.
W host, I have someone Caucasian that I arranged and organized to have on with us on the panel. He's a Cypriot Turk. Interesting because they tried to pew Cypriot as well and then blame it on Iran. While it seemed that it wasn't Iran. I think you would love having him on the panel.
Right.
He
To respond
So
to
are
respond
we?
to respond to what Conscious was asking, what I was trying to say is I'm looking to set up a discussion with individuals that are on that side of the world that can speak specifically, to what's going on, that would have a more direct, hands-on. So, we're looking to bring that conversation, on TikTok and have a panel, discussion that way as well. Go ahead, Izzy.
I was just gonna say, like, is anybody really like supporting the IRGC though? Like, I feel like we keep losing these people were the largest funder of T groups all around the world, all the way over into Venezuela, and they did an assassination attempt on our president. They had every intention to get nuclear, powers, and they're always threatening Israel and their neighbors. Like, they really are the oppressors. They give Islam a bad name, and they're violent, they're extreme, and they got to go.
All right. Anybody want to respond to Tizzy?
I agree. They've
Yeah.
got to go, but
Okay,
they
someone
have to
else.
go
Oh,
by the choice of the Iranian people.
Mo, I apologize. Mo, I forgot I had somebody new that came up on the stage.
That's okay.
That was Nice One. Go ahead, Nice One.
Okay. No, I'm sorry to say, and I understand everyone's opinion, and I'm not going to disrespect anyone with this, but that's what I've heard there is the government narrative from US and also from UK. There is no sleeper cells. They don't have nukes. They don't intend to have nukes. They have missiles that can only go 2,000 miles. So Garcia was a false flag, as were so many. The killing of their own people is only some were killed when they started setting fire to police stations. It was a CIA and Mossad.
Oh, hold on, Nice One. You got to remember your TikTok etiquette, Nice One. Try to stay on top of Unalive. So remember your thought about the police station. Go ahead, Nice One. You're on mute if you're talking. Unmute yourself, Nice One. I just had to mute you so I can remind you about your TikTok etiquette to say Unalive.
Okay. I do my best not to make those mistakes.
Okay.
I did business there for 10 years in Iran, and they're not killing their own people. The people that supported the Shah live outside, because if you did support the Shah, you got very wealthy. A lot of people did, and so there were some people killed. They were protesters who were bombing or setting fire to police stations, etc. But the news, the Western news saying 15,000, 30 is absolute nonsense. Nonsense. It's a population, I believe, of 80 million in Iran. Huh? And it was a few thousand. A few thousand. And the amount of propaganda I've been seeing on TikTok from the supporters of the Shah, what's his name? The guy they have at the moment. He's an Israeli puppet.
Pavlovi, yeah.
Pavlovi, thank you. He's an Israeli puppet. He really is. And I find it appalling. How can he put his name to this? He's not a man. He's He's just a mouse, a rat. Really, I find it a shame when he says he wants to, reunite the country. Women don't have to wear the hijab. They have universities. It's an unbelievable country, and the West has painted it because it's had sanctions, I think, for 40 years, and because of that, the necessity is the mother of all invention. So they've become very good and very clever. There's 31 states within Iran, and so the military has 31 separate military organizations. They all come under one head, but if that one head is being killed, like it has been done unalive by Bibi and Trump, they can go it alone. They've planned this for such a long time. And you hear when they speak on their messages, they don't want this war, but they're not going to.
All right, nice one. I appreciate your thoughts right there. We got a lot of people on the stage, so we want to try to keep our conversation down to 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, so that everyone will have a chance to engage, rebuttal, and/or enrich the conversation. So we're going to open the floor up. The stage is full. Maybe you guys have heard something that you want to comment to. Seem like Shabuli. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about him saying that the numbers that the US is talking about are a lie, and somehow he believes IRGC, which I actually think that he does support them, which is wild. But wanted to mention that as an Iranian, I know a lot of people that were out and protesting. I've seen videos of millions of people in my hometown that I'm sure you didn't see it because it didn't came out. Any news media did not publish those videos, but we have our own sources and we can follow our news. And then I've had family members in my family that were unalive on a street, 5 of them for just being out for no reason. All of their children are orphans. And so many other Iranian families are experiencing the same thing. So please don't come on lives and say lies about things that you don't know about. If you've been to Iran for 10 years, who cares? You're not Iranian, you don't know our experience, you don't know people that are back there. You were just doing business. Probably you were good with the government and that's how you could do business. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else wanted to
Yes.
speak?
Yeah. Anybody in the panel that would please tell me which news sources and which intelligence that I can look for to be more abreast or more like informed. I would love to hear your comments in the panel. I'd love to learn more. Not just by word of mouth, but
Conscious. Good one. And see, that's another one of the reasons why I'm just looking to connect, with others so that we can actually get like reliable and/or other sources of media that we can, have a more rounded, thought based on what's happening, because so much is taking place on that side that we do not get to hear. And again, that's why
exactly
I'm looking to line up.
I'm gonna.
With
Al Jazeera.
certain individuals.
I've been looking at what I've been looking at is Al Jazeera English, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Al Jazeera
Al
is what
Jazeera. Sorry, I would say Al Jazeera for a good portion just talks about whatever Iran's state media says.
Nice.
I, as an Iranian, do not read Al Jazeera at all. It's not reliable. They just are talking. They are very aligned with the Iranian regime propaganda.
Would you give me something that I could look at?
The source of news I read are mostly Persian, and I even in those I pick and choose the ones I accept. We have one Iranian citizen journalist that we follow, but he is also he doesn't work for a news organization or anything. He just has his own account, and all the people from Iran send him stuff. And those are the actual footage that we get from within Iran, from the actual people. Their stories, what happens, where are the locations that are being attacked.
Shah,
Yes.
so you said a citizen journalist. That's going to be crazy
Mm-hmm.
for me as an American to look at, because if I look up citizen journalists in America, it's going to be hard for me to find anything.
Oh, right, you can. And again, this is
can-
one person, and he has a Telegram channel, but it's all in Farsi. Even if you want, I don't think that like translation of it, everything would be hard.
I can point you
That's what
to
I'm
some
saying.
American,
If you don't know anything,
or not
please go
American,
for
but
it.
yeah, there's a couple English speaking Iranian people who do daily news and updates, and you can find them both on YouTube. Meyer Tusi. If you just put in TOUSI, Tusi.
TOUSI.
He does daily
On YouTube.
updates. He's got his own thing.
All right, guys,
and then there's
we got Phenomena. I will come back to you, Izzy, and we'll get those sources.
Yeah, you're right.
Tusi
Put
is
them in the
actually
comments. Put them in the comments.
Tusi actually broadcasts from London.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
in the
well-known
UK.
Zionist. He's a well-known Zionist.
Thank you. I'm going to mute up.
He actually gets paid by Israel.
Oh, great. Great.
They do, people.
Pay me.
What you want to add to the conversation? You're back. I heard you say it was a glitch.
Yes, sir.
And you're back. What you want to add to the conversation?
Hey, how are you, host?
Fine. Thank you.
I've been on so many panels, and a lot of people may know my name probably. I try to bring peace between both sides. I never push for war rhetoric on social media, ever. And I'm trying to be fair for both sides. Civilians will suffer, and I ignore a lot of stuff, but something rubbed me the wrong way. It's like I'm actually scared. It's that 5 of your guests repeated the same thing what the media was saying, the same script, not their own opinion to come up and debate. Like one of your guests on top, he never lived in Lebanon. I did. He doesn't know. One of the most peaceful years in Lebanon was 99 and 2000, and he wouldn't know why. I sat on the beach. It was beautiful. There was no war, no conflict. And then we left the country and we came to the States. So to make it short, when this whole conflict is over and people suffered, I want the same energy that we put to Iran towards Sudan. What's fair is fair, right? We need to help people. If women are being oppressed in Iran and we help them, we need to go to Sudan, next Chad and Mali. That would be fair, correct? I've always stayed on the sideline, but what freaked me out is 5 guests said the same thing. Like, about Islam. They don't know. I'm sorry, host, they don't know. And they didn't have their own opinion. They just repeated what the media said. That freaked me out. Like, I was just listening and that woke me up. Like, whoa.
You think that we think radical Islamic extreme?
Hold on, Izzy. We need to make sure he was done. Hold on, Izzy. Phenom, were you done?
He can counter real quick. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Hey guys, we got a lot of people in the room. Let's remember, tap the screen. It don't cost you anything. There is the Daily Hot Me up there. Do repost the live. Do share the live. I appreciate you. I think Jay. Let's see. I think Jay wanted to. Hadn't heard from Jay in a minute, and then we'll come back to you, Izzy.
So,
Jay, were you trying to respond?
This notion that women in Iran are oppressed, I don't buy that. They have the highest literacy rate in the Middle East among the Iranian women. 60% of the universities are, have women students. Okay, they're in every aspect of the government and industries. They're very resilient people. They're not kind of people that can be oppressed by the left or right. I know a lot of them. All right, that's number one. Number two, somebody mentioned MENAP, that it was IRGC's work. I have all the data from the UN Commission on that event. The serial number of the Tomahawk missiles, the date of manufacture, the warship that it was assigned to, and the number of times that it was hit the school. So saying that they did it to themselves is really, really silly. It's irresponsible. That's all I
Okay,
have.
I appreciate you, Jay. Izzy, give me 1 second. We got Abu that just came on the stage. Let's hear what Abu has to say. Welcome, Abu.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me up. I would like to first introduce myself. People here know me as Abu Siraj. I'm a Palestinian from the Gaza Strip. I'm talking to you right now from Gaza. And I find that what Phenom said is truly interesting, because he said that he's trying to advocate for peace between the two sides. And as a Palestinian living in the Gaza Strip, all we ever wanted was peace. But the question is, does Israel want peace? Do you think that a colonial power who was planted in this region is seeking peace? Peace with who? With the Palestinians that they have been butchering for 8 decades? Or with the Iranians that they are currently bombarding? Or with the Lebanese that they have unalived thousands of them throughout the years and trying to steal more of their land? Or with the people of Syria that they have destroyed their army and capabilities to weaken them? Or with the Yemenis in Yemen that they have bombarded? And so on and so on. They have been starting troubles with all of their neighbors, attacking everyone, unaliving innocent women and children. They have destroyed 80% of the buildings in the Gaza Strip. They have starved us to death, where we got to the point that we didn't find anything to eat, and we were desperate enough to eat animal food. And some people are still naive to think that Israel wants peace. They never wanted peace. Since day one, they never wanted peace. They don't want to coexist. They just want to ethnically cleanse the people of this region, to keep us divided, to destroy us, to steal our sources and our wealth, and to expand. That's their purpose in the region. And that's what they have been working on since day one. So please, guys, after everything that we have witnessed here in Gaza, and after how you saw that Israel and the US started by attacking Iran, let us not talk about peace, and let us talk about a real solution that starts with, first, to stop the blind American support for the state of Israel, to boycott this rogue state, and to stop acting as if they are not war criminals, because that's exactly what they are. The IDF, I cannot even tell you how many horrible things they have done here in Gaza, including against my family members, where I have lost 23 members of my family. They were butchered in a single strike, and others more in different strikes. So let's not talk about peace and talk about a concrete solution, an end to this madness once and for all, because Israel is dragging the US to attack Iran. Iran never posed a threat to the US, and yet it is being attacked. And
Okay. All right, hold on there, Abu. Hold on there, Abu. We got you. We hear you. And Abu, he brought up a very interesting point about the colonizer. And I think this is really being overlooked, the point of the colonizer and the fact that there is something called decolonization. And there is a UN resolution 1514 and 1541. And we're going to talk about that tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because the solution is to get rid of the colonizer and to identify where it has taken place and to fully implement decolonization because people deserve autonomy. People deserve, the right to self-determination. And I do say to folks, I'm here in the U.S. and I have to express that we are a people still being ruled by another people, and decolonization needs to happen right here in the US, as well. So, again, mixed emotions. And there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering, in the world. And to watch the US or this government act as if they care about other nations and or other people when it's like right here, in this land, that's insulting, to me, someone that I've lived my life, through that oppression. And some folks would say, oh, you got it good. This is America. Folks are, giving their lives to get here. What are you complaining about? Well, it's systemic, it's historic. What has happened to me, what has happened, to my ancestors. So there's a real problem, and there is a colonizer. And we shouldn't act as if, it just went away or that was a long time ago. So we're still dealing with mixed emotions. And Abu, we thank you for, your comments. We're going to open the stage up for anyone that wants to add to the comment or rebuttal, to the comment. And Abu, you will have an opportunity to, speak again. But we got a lot of people up here on the stage. We want to try to give everybody, a chance to communicate. And when I put that special panel together, Abu, maybe you can be on that panel. So I did follow you, and I'll try to reach out to you and see if, I can't get you on to where, we can talk further and get a better perspective as to what's happening on your side of the earth. All right, the floor is open for any rebuttal.
Can I raise
and
my hand?
sure,
I'm
go
ready.
ahead. Go ahead.
I gotta say something. When you said the colonization and the systemic racism and within our nation, the United States, um, there's a lot to unpack there. And I think the reason why we're not as a nation as willing to understand what's going on to our brothers and sisters over in the Arab nations is because we're not yet willing to understand what's going on within our own, because we're still dealing with systemic racism till this day, or to this day. You know what I mean? And I'm good with like accepting it, looking at it face to face, making sure my sons are there to combat it. And when I say combat it, I mean by all means necessary, but mostly with kindness, but by all means necessary. You know what I mean? Was I off topic? Am I talking too much? Your face
No,
is
no.
your face is like, is she crazy? Like,
No, I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at the screen.
I was like,
I'm watching what other people are saying, and
yeah,
yeah.
but where I'm going with this is what's going on within our own country right now is genuinely hard for a lot of the people from the deep south, especially. I want to say that because I've seen it. They just don't get it, and I think there's a war on like the wokeness, and there's a war on like us just being friends and us just being fucking brothers and sisters and all this stuff. Excuse my French. I'm sorry about that. But I think that's what's like, we got issues here in the United States. I'm ready to deal with those, and I'm ready to deal with the other issues too, because I'm just there. But how many people the cause do you think in the United States are ready to deal with this conversation that we're having?
Okay. Well, the actual number I cannot tell you, but I will say this, we're actively pursuing and pushing that conversation, and we're actively going for the solution and looking to deal with what's available, not, through violence, but through our intellect and understanding the pen is mightier than the sword. I did want to say this, you guys. These videos, there's a link in my bio, right now that if you go to the link, it says website, but that's where the YouTube is. You click it, you'll have a chance to revisit this video and all the other discussions that we've had around this topic. They're on that channel. And we also have some of the discussions centered around decolonization, up there as well. So make sure you click that link and you go to the channel and you subscribe there. Okay. But to answer your question, Conscious, I really don't know how many, but I do know it's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't want to see, the oppressor move on. Some folks, they really enjoy it, but I can't side, with the oppressor. I think that would be something similar to Stockholm, syndrome. And I can't make someone, or I can't let someone make me feel as if it's all a phantom, in my mind, and I'm living in the best place, in the world. And I just say, if this is the best, then, we may not understand what the best is, because there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of lying. And folks say, well, that's everywhere. Then that just goes to show what a condition the world is in, and why we're witnessing the world at this point in time. We're witnessing it collapse. We're talking about people that are within famine. We're talking about, the disease. Our water is polluted. Our food is polluted. The air is polluted. And they're supposed to be the leaders of the world. So if they're the leaders, that means they're responsible. And then they say, oh, no, they can't be responsible. So again, mixed emotions, you all. And we do need to be able to have these conversations, and people need to understand what it means to network and come together, those that have the understanding and idea, and we create lanes and we create bonds to where we can effectively deal with the oppression and or the colonization. So the floor is open. If who did I bring up?
Yes, if I may, hands up, if I may have my hands up, please.
Go ahead.
Regarding colonization, if we can, have a look at today's geopolitical situation with colonization. When the Soviet Union collapsed, the various think tanks of the West started to ask a question, which is, who are our main rivals? And they discovered that the only ideological rival to liberal capitalism is going to be Islam. So they came up with Sharia is bad and Sharia, because at the end of the day, Sharia is not about unaliving people and punishment. There's something much deeper there, which is the financial aspects of Sharia and the statecraft of Sharia. If Sharia was actually if the Muslims unified and had a government that actually implemented Sharia, that would mean the end of the world monetary system. Because number one, banks would no longer operate, because according to Sharia, we're not allowed usury. So we're not allowed interest. So the banking system would collapse. So if you imagine, let's say, Saudi Arabia really implementing Sharia and saying, we're not putting our money in your banks anymore because you implement usury, that would collapse the whole of the system. So what happened with the end of the Soviet Union, the new enemy or new ideological enemy became Muslims. So the powers that be, the colonialists, decided to defang Islam to an extent that it would only be you go to your mosque and you pray and you come out. If you think of anything else, that makes you a radical. So if we come back to the Iran situation, what happened was there is still an institute called the Rand Institute. Now, the Rand Institute actually gave out some advice regarding how to deal with the Islamic ideology, and the idea was to actually divide them. And how to divide them? It was to support the minority and ostracize the majority. Now, Barack Obama was fully on board with the Rand Institute idea. So when he did his deal with Iran, he did the deal with Iran regarding the nuclear. He also did a deal saying that he will turn a blind eye to Iran and allow Iran to form what is known as the Shia Crescent. So to take Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon and Yemen. So even the perceived strength of Iran and the proxies of Iran are actually out of the machinations of the U.S.
Okay. All right, Mo, we're going to hold you there. And we got two other people that just came on, One Love and then Gaza. And then we're going to open the stage back up in case anyone wanted to respond to what Mo said, or if you want to respond to what One Love and Gaza are going to say. All right, One Love.
Can I say something?
Hold on. Hold on, Nice One. I got two other folks that just came up.
Fair enough.
I want to try to give them a chance. And then after that, then we'll come to Nice One.
Thank you.
One Love, go ahead. One Love going once. One Love going twice. One Love having an issue with his mic. We're going to move on to Gaza. Gaza, go ahead. If you're talking Gaza, you're on mute. You're going to need to unmute yourself. All right. Okay. Nice One. Go ahead. Because Gaza and One Love, there's something wrong with their mic. I'm going to put them back in the audience. If they want to come up, they can come up. Go ahead, Nice One.
Okay. Colonization mentioned. I put a note in. There was a thing called Operation Legacy from the UK. Started in the 50s and ended in the 80s when they got caught out to destroy all paperwork regarding England's or UK's colonization countries. And it also included Palestine because nothing was on in the computer. It was all paperwork, and hence when the Windrush, all their paperwork was destroyed. So a lot of these people have been sent back to Jamaica because the English destroyed the paperwork. And then because they didn't have any paperwork, they couldn't stay in the UK. England is disgusting like this. Huh? So they have this thing called Operation Legacy. You can check it out. For me, I think the situation with this war and why did they go ahead when there was a deal at the table? There apparently was a deal at the table. The enrichment that they had would go to Russia. And then they got bombed by US and Israel. I mean, madness. But why? Why do they do it? Israel doesn't want it. It wants the greater Israel. That's the plan. And Iran is in the way. And it can't do it on its own. It has to have the states there. So sadly, the states have been dragged into this war. Well, dragged in, I'd say. I'm not really quite sure on that one. And I just, it's you hear the language from the states, from this man. It's astounding. It's astounding. I don't know anyone. I'm retired. I don't remember anyone speaking in such a way. You know, from one day to the next. There's not, and the speaker from Gaza, he's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. It's still going on. And I've had my 2 minutes, so thank you.
Okay,
I'll leave.
thank you, nice one. We got two people just came up. We got Truth Seeker and then Doug. Truth Seeker, Doug. Truth Seeker first and then Doug. Go ahead, Truth Seeker.
Hi, host. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I was just listening to Abu Siraj talking about the colonization of is not real on his country. And I always tell people, and you know, we have this aspect that colonizers are people that will want peace, which I find is really an oxymoron, because at the end of the day, when a colonizer comes into you, they're not coming to literally present you with peace. They're coming to steal your country, they're coming to unalive your indigenous people, and they're coming to oppress your people. So telling me that a colonizer doing treaties of peace is literally a laughable idea in the first place. And I think that's what people need to understand. We still have this fallacy that colonizers have some form of goodness. You know, they're going to make treaties that we're going to kumbaya. But we don't look at the actual case, how they came in. And that's the problem that I have, is that we still sit, and I can hear when Israelis, because they love me, of course they do, for the wrong reasons. They hate me because each time I tell them, when they say, oh, the Palestinians don't want peace, but yet I never get an answer to, when your people came in 1947, those 4 Jewish militia, did they come peacefully, or did they unalive Palestinians and actually kick them out of their land? And I never get an answer. So telling us that is not real is a colonizer, it's a colonial project, and then we think that they're going to give peace. No, they're not going to give peace. Everything that they talk about is we are going to take. And now at the moment, what is really sad is that they've infiltrated the United States so badly that they literally going to get your troops to be sent now to Iran to get butchered. And that's the sad part. I actually came to a point of thinking it's United States of Israel. And it's actually sad that they're doing this to your people, because I don't think any American soldier would want to go to the Middle East and fight a war that's not theirs. I honestly think that it should be the Israeli soldiers, if it's really, because it's really their war to start with, and they should send their people in, not the American soldiers. It's not your war to fight. It's not our problem. And I also think they're going to lead us into a global recession, and that's the sad reality.
Okay.
Woo, yes,
I thank you,
sister.
Truth
Yes,
Seeker.
baby. Yes.
I
Tell 'em.
agree.
Thank
I
you.
agree. Like
Thank
with
you,
the
Truth
last.
Seeker. Listen, guys, I do just want to say this. There's a link in the bio to where you can go to the YouTube channel. I know it says website, but it's the YouTube channel. You guys will be able to take this video if you want to share it with your family or friends. There are other videos up there. And more specifically, as we're talking about the colonizer, there are several discussions up there about decolonization, because that is something that I'm very much active and or involved in. And tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to talk about decolonization, Resolution 1514 and 1541, 73E. And we're
Right.
looking at realistically, what we can do. Some folks want to talk about it. Well, we're really looking to be about it, and then we're looking to make connections with others across the international lanes that have
That's so
achieved
freaking cool.
decolonization and, are really looking, to have self-determination, reclaim our autonomy. Okay. So just tap the screen, guys. It don't cost you anything. And remember, the Daily Heart Me is up there. Do share the live. Do repost the live. So I have Doug, and then we're going to go. Oh, okay, the other guy left. All right, but I got Doug that's on the stage. Then we're going to open the floor up for whoever wants to rebuttal or add to the conversation. Welcome, Doug.
Hey, thanks for having me up. It's the first time I just passing through. It was interesting live you got here. Thanks for having me up. And hey, everybody, I'm Doug. Truth, how are you? Truth's a friend of mine. Just sticking with the colonial conversation. The U.S., Israel is obviously they're very hegemonic right now with the Great Israel Project, but so is the United States. They're ramping back up the colonial projects too. We see in Venezuela and Greenland and places like that. The United States, as I'm an American, and the United States lives and breathes off exploitation and stealing resources. That's been their main force of their history. And it's oil, it's called gold, oil, and rugs. That's what they mainly go after. And nobody runs rugs better than the CIA. So this is what's going on, with the poppies in Afghanistan. They just exploit. They've done it in Africa. They do it in South America. They're a very troublesome country, even though I'm American. And he'll probably think it's weird I'm saying this, but it's been the biggest chaotic source of problems in the world, starting right around the 1900. And then you throw in their sidekick, Israel, and it's just like two rogue nations running around, beating everybody down or trying to. So I don't like the IRC. I'm not a big fan of the Ayatollah or the mullahs running around. I like the people. I want them to be free, have their freedom. But I do not like the United States doing what it does like right now and going in and just booming, or Israel when they see fit and taking stuff like they own the world. And they are not the morality police. It's a joke when anybody from the United States gets up and teaches out other countries they need to do this, and this, when the United States is one of the biggest sponsors of tea themselves, just like Israel. People fail to realize that. So that's about all I want to say. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your thought.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think
Yes, sir. May I
Gold GuideNet, GoodNet.
How are
just
you?
popped up. All right. How you doing? What you want to add to the conversation?
No, completely. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, you said you are asking me about the new leadership or about the war generally. What are you asking about?
I'm not certain can you rephrase that, please?
Oh, you first asked me a question or something? Did you ask me anything?
I said, what would you like to add to the conversation?
No, there's a lot that I can add. First and foremost, this war has really has really unraveled the hypocrisy of the so-called bullies or the police of the world. And one has to salute the people of Iran. I salute them for their investment in science and technology, human capacity, and to stand against bullies across the world. It is funny, it is so much embarrassment for anyone to think that one country is given liberty to do as they want. I mean, I'm talking about the Zionist state of Israel, how they are being allowed with impunity to attack any country that they wish. This is not something they started yesterday or in this war. They have been doing it constantly to the Syrians, to the Lebanese, to Sudanese. People have forgotten that at a point in time in around 2000, when the Israel had to go and bomb the defense industry of Sudan, they did it not once, not twice. They did that. They also bombed the Syrian nuclear research facility, that of Jordan, and many cases, including United States itself. We know what happened to USS Liberty. So they bend the international rule. They have refused to obey any of the resolution of the United Nations. Now we are seeing it, and it is something for our countries, the African countries and other developing countries, to understand that, look, you can stand against this bully. The so-called almighty America is a facade, is a fallacy. People should forget about it, should tend to build themselves. We have seen the unity of purpose by the Iranians. It is not a day thing. It took them 47 years to build a country where they have a purpose and they are being strategic about what they want, despite the sanctions, despite the naysayers and co. And we have seen how Donald Trump has really shows that America is nothing but the puppet of the Israel government, the Zionist government, just like my own president of Nigeria is another puppet. They are not doing anything to advance the future of the people, but they are just dancing to the tune. So if any nation is looking for a blueprint, they should look at Iran in terms of human capacity development and strategic development for themselves in terms of defense and in terms of national cohesion and awareness. Every nation need that. But by the way, why are we looking at it? That why is it nation to nation? We're all human beings on earth, and therefore the earth is enough. It has all resources for everyone. Do we need conflict? We don't need conflict. But this war has.
All right, Good Net, we heard you. We got a number of people on the stage, so we do want to try to keep our comments within a minute and a half to 2 minutes. You will have an opportunity to speak again. Let's open the floor up just in case someone wants to respond to what you said or something else that they heard, or if they just want to add to the conversation. All right,
Mimi,
let's try to get everybody we hadn't
I would
heard
like to
from.
say one thing real quick. The gentleman mentioned the kids, and there's somebody in the comments that mentioned the kids. And I want to say that the kids grow up to be men. So let's not talk about the kids because they're not under the age of 25 or whatever, because they're young. They shouldn't have a voice because they're going to be men one day. And I believe that we're raising men and women. And there's that. I'm just responding to the comments. All right, I'm done.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to Abu, and then we're going to go to Truth Seeker. Abu? I think Abu just left. All right, Truth Seeker, go ahead.
I just want people, because the media has portrayed the Iranian people as if they are being oppressed. And this really, really annoys me. And the reason why I say this is because I've been there. I've been to Iran. I've spoken to Iranian people, and no one is being oppressed. I just want to put that out first. Second of all, the IRGC wasn't put there by someone. It was literally done by a revolution by the Iranian people who kicked out the Shah that was actually oppressing their people. And he literally ran away because they ran out of ammunition of pew-pewing people. That is how the Shah left. People have to understand this. So the IRGC, I don't know how we're going to say that they are oppressed when it was the Iranian people who made a revolution, who took their country back and chose the IRGC to be there. But yet we want to do the opposite. We want to bring back the Shah, who they had a revolution to throw out, and we want to bring him back because it's more to the Western values, which is take my country, denationalize my oil, take my resources. I'll literally do what Israel wants me to do. So I just want to make it clear. The only thing, if you want to free Iran, free them from their sanctions. That is what's oppressing those people. If you guys think because someone is advising their people to wear the hijab, and by the way, I've been there, hardly some of the women don't even wear the hijab. If you don't believe me, please don't take my word on it. Go onto YouTube, write nightlife in Tehran. That's all you need to do. And go and see how many women are wearing the hijab. Now in Iran, if you want to show your titties and your ass, yeah, and it's all for show, the morality police will tell you, sorry, can you go and like dress up a bit more modestly because we have a modestly value around here? That's the only thing. But if you dress just normally and you don't have your cleavage out and your butt showing so everyone can see it, you'll have no problem. So please, people, if literally people are one is saying that these people are oppressed, please travel there first. People literally just get on to eating any information, and then all of a sudden these people are oppressed. Just like the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And then you know what? There was no weapons of mass destruction. This is what I'm saying. The most dangerous part in society right now is fake propaganda and media, and people have to literally go and read, go and travel. Don't listen to media. Go and see it yourself.
Okay, thank you, Truth Seeker. Let's go to Prime. Prime is new to the stage. And then we're going to go to Mo and then Phenom. All right, Prime, what you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, so I just joined and I listened a bit, and just need to say that I mean she do have some points, all right, but I mean just to disregard what this regime have been doing to the people, I mean that is quite being ignorant, all right. I mean the Shah, yeah, he had his issues, and that's for sure. But are we really comparing the times we live in now with prior to the revolution? And to say that support weren't aided from the US, that is not true. All right, the Shah was quite on his own path, and the US didn't like that, so they kicked him out. Not only them, I mean, there were people in Iran which were not content with this ruling. But if we're going to compare the regime in terms of being brutal towards its people, I mean, it's two separate things. So, I mean, we can't be ignorant for this regime also. But I do not support the attack. I mean, Iran do have their, sovereign right to defend themselves. But I do not support the regime. I do not.
Okay. Thank you, Prime. Let's go to Mo and then to
Sorry,
Phenom.
can I reply him on this what he said, please?
Hold on a
You'll
second.
have a chance to reply after Mo and then Phenom. Then you can go.
So, I don't know whether all of you remember when I first came up, I said, I am no friend of the Iranian regime. I've actually spent the majority of my adult life fighting them, right? And I think I'm probably the same age as the host or probably older. So I have done a lot of campaigning against them. And at a younger age, I was actually in the Iraqi army. So, we're not going right. I'm not going to talk about whether the regime is good or bad, but what I find so annoying is the level of hypocrisy, because we've got so many people talking about the scarf and the woman's scarf and the woman's scarf in Iran, but UN reports saying that the IDF, use SA against Palestinian women as a tool of war is completely ignored. Suddenly, the feminists forget about that. They don't hear about that, right? We hear about the regime unaliving their own people, but the fact that Israeli settlers are running rampage through the West Bank with IDF security is never mentioned. This level of hypocrisy, it's just so infuriating. Look, if you're worried about women, you should be worried about all women. If you're worried about civilians, you should be worried about all civilians. And thank you.
All right, Phenom, let's go, and then we'll go to GoodNet.
Yes, host, I appreciate that. Look, whoever lives in the Middle East, as all countries, I worked so hard for the past 2 years, and I've been attacked. I try to bridge peace between both sides, but it's not working. They're not. It's like I try to bring unity between civilians and tell them we have a better future, but the things I've seen and heard on social media is just people repeat what they hear on the media. That's a big thing. And excuse me a second. And what they also do is, after this war is over, I said this, after this war ends, this conflict, I want them to show the same support for Sudan, Mali, and Chad. I want to see the same support for the women, because it was all about the oppressed. Actually, out of nowhere, for the past 2 months, all of a sudden people became interested in the women of Iran. And we have to clear from, nobody cared before that. No one even knew where Iran was on the map. And all of a sudden we became warriors on media, and like when it comes to conflict, we support that. When it comes to feeding hungry children or talking about issues, we're not interested. It's like we're programmed to look for violence in some way, and we celebrate it on the TV, on the news. We celebrate that violence, and people are happy with that. And you know what? That's the future you want. And when you say why is society violent, look who they follow and who they learn that from. And my last phrase is, we are victims of our own culture. Most people are victims. That's not the real us doing all this. But thank you, host. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it, guys. I want to say this before GoodNet goes. Tap the screen, guys. It doesn't cost anything. We got a lot of people in the room. The Daily Heartme is up there. Do share the live, repost the live, and make sure you know that in the bio, if you go to the bio on my page, you can hit the link to the YouTube channel it's probably under the website or something like that, but it's only one link. But if you click that link, you can go to the channel, do subscribe to the channel. This is where all of the other posts, that we've had centered around this topic, those conversations are there in conjunction with some other advocacy work, more specifically dealing with decolonization. That is there, but you may want to share these lives with your families or your friends or whatever, but that's where they are, okay? All right, go ahead, GoodNet.
Yes, thank you, host. Thank you so much. I just wanted to reply the second previous speaker that spoke about Operation India, but maybe I should not. Maybe the person should just go and read about the atrocities committed by the Shah before 1978. Maybe if he educate himself about all the atrocities, then you understand that it was never a bed of roses for the people of Iran. So I don't think he knows what he's talking about. Iranians went through hell during the time of the Shah regime. Yeah, there are things he did right, but there are things that he didn't do right. My main concern now moving forward is for us, human beings on earth, especially Africans, to see or to seize this as an opportunity to liberate ourselves. We have a template that we can stand on our feet. We can stand against the bully. After all, if not because of this war of Iran and co, we have already seen the drum of war being beaten by the Trump and his Zionist friends about Nigeria, about Sudan, how they were quiet about Sudan, the massacres, the atrocities with the UAE, in collaboration with Israel, Colombia, and other people did to Sudan. Now, we have seen how the Sudanese army are liberating their country because the supply line has been disrupted. So other countries can take clue. Nigeria, Congo, all places can take clue that you can stand on your feet. You don't have to rely on the brokerage of peace or the savior Messiah thinking of United States or the Zionist Israel, which sell weapons to others. And thank God, even though the Iranian regime now are attacking the Gulf state are wiser now. They understand that, look, we can't join this conflict, because if we join the conflict, the same America and Israel will sell weapons to Iran and to the Gulf state, therefore they make profit. So they understand, and that's why they are keeping low. And now the so-called American defense pact for the Middle East has been broken. It's left for the next generation of those in the Middle East to understand that America will never protect them. Therefore, they should invest their money wisely, not in conflict, not in all this jamboree of Trump. And I rest my case, host. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think Doug wanted to go, and then we'll go to Truth Seeker. Go
Real
ahead,
quick,
Doug.
real quick. I don't mean to do anything.
Hold on, Conscious. Hold on, Conscious. Doug, if you wanted to go,
Sure.
and then Truth Seeker, and then we'll come back to Conscious.
This war. It's funny. The MAGA Trumpers, they get so angry if you call it a war. They get their marching orders from Trump. They would call it a conflict. It's so stupid. Anyway, they grossly underestimated Iran. They had no plan at all. They thought they would just show up with a naval armada, and they would just capitulate when they saw the big boats coming up. And now they've chased all the boats off, the ships. this is a point in time, and I am American. Okay, I've had difficulties, coming to terms with what the U.S. has done in the past. I mean, I know. I read on Reddit at 3 a.m. about 4 years ago. I'll never forget it. Declassify CIA documents, and that went to the videos of Israel and Palestine. I was like, we have been lied to ever since World War II. Everything they've said is a lie. Everything. And I feel betrayed and stabbed in the back by this country. That's why I'm so angry about it. And I say the things I do. They lie. You got the military. You got Abu Ghraib. You got the WikiLeaks. They've done nasty, nasty stuff across the globe, and they continue to do this. And it's just a rogue, out of control nation right now. Donald Trump is a lunatic. And I've always thought if anybody destroys the planet with another nukes, it's going to be the United States again, because we got lunatics running these countries in Europe, in Israel, in America. They're nuts. And even the ones who aren't Trump, they're all neocon war hawks. They're all war criminals, basically. And this is all they do. The U.S. has only gone 16 years in its history without fighting a war. And the only people that profit from this, obviously, are the military-industrial complex. And the formula now is military-industrial complex gets their billions up front, and then BlackRock comes in behind it and cleans it up. That's the formula now. Money. But anyway, this is an opportunity for the Middle East, the Gulf states, Iran, all the states to chase the United States out of there finally. The United States has no business in any of the places where they have 800 bases across the globe. And how dare they accuse Iran of attacking their bases? There are 18 bases surrounding Iran, for God's sakes, for defending themselves. It's so ridiculous. But the good thing is, Americans, we're noticing, if I can use that term, like myself. My reset happened before October 7th. But people, I hear them in American lives, they're becoming aware of things, and they're seeing what's up. I know U.S. Americans have a stigma, rightfully so, that they're stupid and don't know what's going on. And for the most part, that still is true. But there are a lot of people coming around, and they're seeing the injustices that the U.S. has done, and they're seeing, Tomahawk missiles bombing schools, poo-pooing schools, on the first day, unaliving young girls. And that is a response. That is the United States. The United States took a double dip on that. That is horrific. And I cannot believe this country, where it's gone to, although it's not been great in the past, but it's really bad now, doing these things they do. And Pete Hegseth and these clowns, they are war criminals through and through. War criminals. Trump.
Okay, all right, we got you, Doug. We got you. They
Hey,
are
real quick.
even.
Real quick.
Hold on, Conscious. Hold on.
No,
There are some war
just drop
criminals.
me. But the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not saying it to be interruptive. I'm saying that when I'm going to bed, but I don't want to leave, because whenever you leave the screen and you drop yourself, that means the algorithm gets screwed up, and that your host or the host that you're with doesn't get like the best. So I'm just asking you to drop me. That's all I was saying in the comments. So drop me.
Okay, I'll put you down. Thank you, Conscious.
Good night, man.
What I was gonna say is, dog it. Oh, okay. I almost lost my train of thought. Okay. War criminals, right? And we do know that Netanyahu has been identified, as a war criminal, and he's wanted by the ICC. So those things are true. Thank you. Doug, let's go to Truth Seeker, and then we got somebody new that came on the stage. We got Jayette, and then who did I just bring up? Sam Persian.
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, hello.
All right,
I'm
so
Persian,
let's go
Kenya.
Truth Seeker Jay, and then Sam Persian.
No, I just heard the gentleman above me. He dropped now, but he was saying he's against the IRGC. Yet he fought in the Iraq War. The Iraq War is the same war that were trying to invade the Iranian people. And of course, he would hate the IRGC, because the IRGC, they literally fought that war with all their might. And Khomeini was one of the people on the front line, just by the way. So that's why you would hate the IRGC. So the fact that he comes and he says he advocates, I wanted to ask him, did he advocate for literally invading Iran, a sovereign state, as an Iraqi? That's what I'd love to have asked him, but he's gone now. Now we're saying the IRGC is so bad, but yet everything that I can literally see is that they've done good. Hezbollah came to their door when the Israelis were trying to take over their country in 1982. They gave them weapons. They said, go take your country back. And rightfully so, they did. Then the ANC, which was literally during the apartheid regime, literally they helped the ANC literally liberate their country. That is why Nelson Mandela, on his third presidential visit, he went and visited Khomeini himself, and he called him his supreme leader. Third of all, they sent weapons to Libya for the actual IRA so that they could literally fight against the British government. Third of all, they also helped the Houthis, helped them give weapons when Saudi Arabia was trying to come and oppress their people as well. So they helped all the oppressors. And not only that, the one thing that they did, they renamed a street Bobby Sands. And if you know who Bobby Sands was, he was one of the Irish people that were fighting for their freedom. He starved in prison and did literally, he literally did against the British government. And what the Iranians did, the IRGC, they named the street where the British embassy is in Iran after Bobby Sands. And the reason why they did that, they want every single British official, when they write the address, that they will see the name of Bobby Sands. So if that's a regime that is so bad, that helped every oppressed people, please make that make sense. And then you guys want to come talk about the protesters that happened. Why do you have Mossad that is literally by you side by side? Why did you have policemen that were pew-pewed on? Why were there mosques that were being burned? Why was a nurse unalive burnt in an actual clinic? So please, if you want to talk about the IRGC and they so bad, please don't come and tell me, because the same IRGC was put there by the Iranian people. So if you want to free the Iranian people, free them from sanctions, not to put your Western ideologies, which you think is free. Thank you, host.
All right, let's go to Jay. Then we got, after Jay, we got what was it? Sam Persian?
Yeah, host, can you drop me also? I'll come back after 30 minutes. Drop me, please.
All right. Thank you for coming to the live. Thank you. All right, so Jayette, Jytte, going once, going twice. All right, you may be having some issues with your mic. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that from reading people's opinion, American people, so many are not just against Trump, but are against the war in Iran. So that's all I wanted to add. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was quick. Thank you. Let's go to Sam Persian.
Hi there. Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name is Sam. I'm Iranian. I just want to talk. Someone says Shah, people kick Shah out because Shah wasn't like Islamic Republic Iran to kill people, because Shah wants to live himself, because he didn't want to kill people like Islamic Republic. And this IRGC been doing for 47 years. They've been supporting Arab countries like Lebanon, Hezbollah, and Palestine, because all the money goes to those countries. Why we have to care so much about the Palestine? There is a lot of Muslim countries around, like Saudi Arabia and that. Why Iran have to care about only these people? There is other countries like Pakistan. Why we have to care about these people? There is a lot of people in Iran being educated and they left Iran because to live in Iran these days is really hard. And even myself, I'm living in UK for 18 years, because if I was in my country, I could have more opportunity and more successful in my country, rather than rather than living in the different country. And when Khomeini came to the country, everything goes bad, you know. Sorry for my English, because my English is not good. So I just wanted to say, because some people comment about Iran, that because they don't know history about Iran, that they say Shah, people kick Shah out. Shah didn't. Shah left himself because he didn't want to kill people. That's all I just want to say.
Thank you, Sam Persian. Let's go. We got Bonita Nelson. Welcome to the stage, Bonita Nelson.
Hi, I'm from America, and I'm wondering, being that our news only show what they want us to see, does America really go around the world wreaking havoc? And is it true that Iran really did not pose any imminent threat to us, and we're just doing what the orange man wants us to do? And I also wonder, do the people around the world hate the civilians in America, even though we didn't have anything to do with what the orange man, Donald Trump, is doing?
Okay, thank you, Bonita Nelson. I believe two people on the stage that I would say may have a perspective to respond would be Razia and Truth Seeker. If Razia, if you want to come off and respond, you can. Otherwise, Truth Seeker, or we'll open it up and let you guys have your shot at her questions.
Razia, are you there, sis? I'll let you go first. Host, if she, Razia, if you want to chime in at any time, I'll literally mute up for you, sis. Bonita, first of all, Iran was never a threat to you. Number one, they don't have the capability to hit your country. Number two, when the chant that they say, death to America, I'm going to actually send you a video where Khomeini is actually explaining to you what that means. When they say death to America, it means death to your leaders who are literally oppressing the world. They love the American people. I love the American people. I know what Trump is doing does not represent the American people. My heart does bleed for you, because American people are loving people. They are people that literally are looking out for the best, and they are literally being told this lie that they're going to go free a nation because American people are caring people, and this is how they sell it to you. Also, when they say death to America, it means death to your policies. The policies that oppresses other nations, that literally makes other nations do what they want them to do worldwide. So I want to make that clear, because this is what the media lies to you, to say Iran said death to America, and that's why we need to go take them out. So they don't have the capabilities to touch you. They never ever had anything or anyone in your countries. They don't have something like sleeper cells, which is the bullshit that they're selling you people. Iran has never invaded another country. Only thing that Iran has done, Benita, is literally helped any people that came to their country that were being oppressed and said, help us out. That is all that they have done. They are against Is Not Real, because Is Not Real is a colonial project that are genociding Palestinians on a daily basis. So when we look at Iran, look at their actions. I always say action speaks louder than words. Iran was attacked by Iraq, invaded in their country, and they literally suffered so much. And then also there was an Iranian revolution, which the IRGC was put there by the Iranian people. So the Iranian people put that government there by a revolution that happened because they didn't want the Shah that was unaliving a lot of people. During the Shah's time, they had a police force. I don't know why you're saying that they never oppressed people, sir. The Shah had police forces that would literally lock up people and unalive them if you spoke up against him. When it comes to the IRGC, they only have two objectives. Number one is to try and build their country. They have been under the worst sanctions ever. And even under those sanctions, as we speak right now, they are still trying to flourish their country. That is all they want. They just want everyone to leave them alone, let them build their country and take the sanctions off. That's all they want. They don't want anything from the American people. They don't want anything from you. They just want you guys to stop being the tyrants of the world. Not you in particular, but I mean your government. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you, Truth Seeker.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, one other thing, Bonita. One other thing, Bonita Nelson. I would suggest you research Operation Ajax. And Operation Ajax, it gives some detailed history with respect to what happened. As I say to folks, the Persians didn't just wake up one day and say, I want to hate somebody. And, you know, that somebody I want to hate, you know, are Americans or Muslims or Christians. I mean, they didn't just wake up and say that. Something happened.
Well, if
So
I
when you
may, brother host, if I just want to pose this, being a Black American, an Afro American, we are hated around the world. If we wanted to know or give anything to this cause, will Black people be? I mean, will we be like okay with coming or y'all seeing us or being around us? It really scares me at some points of time because we have all people in America, and sometimes it feels like just being a Black person, even in America, and we're hated here, how much more we're hated around the world. And I want to give to the actual cause, but I don't even know if I would be accepted or allowed because of my Blackness. And out of all of the different people that you named of people that is okay with everything, Black people wasn't one of them. And we really are hated around the world. And I'm just wondering, really, if we can give and support this cause with Iran instead of America, because America doesn't love us. And I'm not saying y'all do, but if we want to stand in a position, we want to stand on right. So even in the right, I'm saying, are we accepted in the fold?
Okay, Bonita, this is what's accepted for us right here in America, because we are a people, and as you say, you know, there's some hatred, and we're still being oppressed, you know, right here in America. There's something called decolonization, and as I expressed, we're going to have that conversation tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you look in the bio, there's a link to the YouTube channel under website, to where you can go to the channel. Not only will you be able to get other discussions that we've had around this topic, but there are other videos up there where we're talking about decolonization. So for us here in America, we have to organize ourselves around the concept of decolonization, which is from UN Resolution 1514, 1541, and 73E. We have to deal with the colonizer, and we have to understand the colonizer is not only oppressing us, and this is why I could never side, you know, with the colonizer and act as if across the water that he really cares about trying to liberate someone else. That's a colonizer. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. That's their history. They oppress people, and they try to make it seem like, you know, there's some good that they're trying to do, but that's the trick. So here, Bonita, for us, we have to focus on taking care of home. We have to look at what it means to take care of us, and then we can network with other people in other nations and come to understand their hatred is not, you know, what we perceive it to be, but the colonizer himself, in conjunction with his media resources and propaganda, they've they've spent money around having people to dislike us. And you have to look at a lot of how we've conducted ourselves, also how we've kind of fed into the narrative, and it would make people question, who we are and what we're about. But, let's clean it up and let's support decolonization. Let's understand it's a global movement. This isn't something new, like we're just trying to be radical and make something up. This has been on the books since the 60s. All the nations, have agreed to it. And there's one that may have abstained, but there's no dissension or disagreement to it. But that's what we need to focus on. So again, tonight we'll talk more about that, and hopefully, you'll be able to make it. There's a post, the first post on my page, where if you all wanted to register for it, it's free. You can register and set your reminders and try to come back, this evening at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we get into decolonization. All right. Hold on. We got two people. Park Bench. Welcome back, Park Bench. And we got Mr. Bombastic. And then we're going to open the stage up.
Hey, Park Bench, how we doing?
Park Bench, how are you?
Another great day. I just want to say, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I support every nationality. I don't believe in this WAR. I actually know a lot of Iranian people that are great in New York, and a lot of Muslim people that are great in New York. So, I mean, in my mind, in New York, growing up with so many different nationalities, I consider any attack on other countries is delusional, kind of based off America's ways for us to be involved with, right? Because if you grow up with these people like I have, and I've grown up with probably about 150 different nationalities in New York, I mean, I'm talking about great people, like every one of them. Like every nationality is great in their own way, has their own beliefs and their own ways. So, I mean, to even attack them or think different because America has a problem with them, you should stop and go meet some of these people. Especially, I don't know where you live, but in New York, you can meet any nationality, especially Muslim people. They are great. Inshallah, assalamu alaikum to you all. But there's no reason for WAR against these great people. I appreciate you, host, and I'm a Park.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to, I think I said Boombastic. Mr. Boombastic was next, right?
Hi, assalamu alaikum. Good morning to you. I'm calling you, I'm from London. I know Truth Seeker. And I just wanted to say a quick thing, really. With regards to the guy at the bottom, he thinks that we don't know about history. Number one, it's America that has placed these people. Whenever they feel like it, they change the government, the leaders. And then when they feel like it, they replace them again. The Shah was actually placed there by America, and then replaced when he stopped listening. So in this sense, our enemy's enemy is not our friend. This is something we need to wake up to, because they think that America is going there to liberate them. But if he had any sense whatsoever, it is their people that are being unalived there. It's not American people who, it's not happening in America. It's not the American people who are being unalived. It's the Iranian people who are being unalived, his family members, his ancestors, his relations, So these people need to actually grow a brain cell, and understand that America is all about itself. And America these people do not care, who they hurt. Yes, it's like what they have done even in the Americas. There's systems in place where, certain people, from certain backgrounds, they look at them better or worse, because of what their background is. Yes, there's still Native Americans who are living in, residentials, where they are looked at as second, third class people, whereas, these are colonizers. So they're used to this kind of behavior. And unfortunately, people in Iran think if they think that they are going there to liberate them, they are crazy, because number one, if anybody thinks that these people have gone there to liberate the women, the first thing what they should be doing is liberating the women in America. Because right now there is something actually going through which is going to take the vote away from women. So I think people need to look at home before they think that we need to liberate somebody thousands of miles away. Thank you, host.
Yep, Mr. Boombastic, that's exactly what I'm talking about with respect to decolonization being a focused topic right here in America, and realizing these people are colonizers and they colonized this land. And this land and these people have been oppressed, are being oppressed, although folks say this is the best country in the world, no other place to be. Well, can't take away from the fact, that we're still dealing with the colonizer, and the whole point of them being colonizers, it's on the record as being criminal and or crime, and it needs to be eradicated. So as much as we may love them or love this place, we have a real issue that we have to deal with. And since we have international interest, and it's not considered to be that we're trying to overthrow anything, or we're being, rebels, and we're extremists. We're looking to follow we're looking to follow what the law says, right? And one thing we haven't done, as we call, ourselves different nomenclatures from indigenous, African American, one thing we have to recognize is we are a people, here still being ruled by another people. And we have to deal with the point of decolonization. And once we do that, we can then join the stage with the rest of the nation states. We can then, look to compete internationally with trade. And for those who think America won't survive without the colonizer, I think America would be a much better place, because everywhere they go, it's DEATH, it's destruction, there's famine. Like I said, the water's polluted. And this is all stuff that they're in control, of. In fact, they're in control of the world right now, being the superpower, you all. And the world is suffering, under their leadership. So the colonizer must go, and people with their heritage, people with their history, we have a right to self-determination, and for a number of us, we're looking to reclaim our autonomy. Okay, it seemed like, Benita, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir, I really do. And the only reason, and I might be kicked off after this, so I'm ready to leave after I say what I have to say. But
Bonita, but we're not going to kick you off. People come here all the time with different opinions, thought processes, and I mean, we'll respect your thought. And if somebody want to rebuttal, they will rebuttal. You're welcome here, Benita. Go ahead.
Okay, so I believe that we are the Hebrews of the Bible, and I am a Christian. I didn't know that when I started that I was in an Islamic form, and I'm sorry.
Wait. You think that's what this is?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, no, don't assume.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
And in my Christian beliefs, I believe that we are the Hebrews of the Bible. And when I'm asking to the people that's around the world that is listening, I'm wondering how the Black Americans have been through the worst tragedies of the whole earth for over 400 years. And now that this is going on, everybody seems like everything is so new, even though Solomon tells us it's nothing new under the sun. But we also know that this is something that is hurting people. I don't understand, me personally, I don't understand why. I don't know how many people read the word, but how we can see that these Black people that are scattered among the four corners of the earth is really the Hebrews, but yet still we're fighting with Israel that is not, we're fighting. America is fighting with the Israel that is not an Israel, and they're fighting with the Antichrist and when I'm in Donald Trump. And so I'm wondering, over the Middle East, do y'all feel like that Israel should pay for their fakeness and their lies and their greed and their ugliness, because they know that they are not the people of the word? And I want to say the chosen people, but I feel bad at saying that, but we are them in over the 400 years of slavery. Everything that makes a Hebrew in the word of the Bible, we fit to a T. We fit to an absolutely T. And when I say we, I'm talking about the Black Americans and the ones that are scattered among the four corners of the earth. So do Middle East not care that Israel is as fake as they is? And why is it that it's accepted that they are in a land that they are not supposed to be in, and calling themselves who they're not, and we yet still sit in the calamity of the white man that has taken us captive, but yet still we got to go through whatever the world say they're going to do to America, and we are the lowest on the totem pole, but yet still got to deal with it. Like, where do we run?
Okay. It seemed like, based on what you've expressed, is the true Israelite, and you're focused on the fact that they're giving the true people a bad name, right now. And one other thing I'll just say, as it pertains to a part of your question, if you're talking about the heritage of that people and you're talking about, that prophecy, as you're asking, why is this happening and what can be done? And all of the answers are truly expressed within those writings. The why, is there's an example being set and or made so that we can really identify who is the corrupter, who is the wicked. And we're saying different terminology such as the colonizer, right? But for us over here, as you're identifying as the Israelites, the lost, those that are within the diaspora spread across the four corners of the earth, it does say, come together, O nation not desired. So when I'm talking about decolonization, and realizing that we are a people, and as a people, we're still being ruled by another people, or we're oppressed. So the concept of decolonization speaks to that Zephaniah, I believe it's 2 and 1, where it says, come together, O nation not desired. So for us, we have to come together, and decolonization is a road or an inroad that we can look to make first steps as to what it means to come together. Let me go to I Am God and see what his comment
Okay.
is real quick. And
Sorry.
and then go ahead. I Am God.
I got 2 questions for you, brother. 2 questions, because I got to go. Number 1, Malcolm X. Iran had a stamp, 1984, Malcolm X.
Mhm.
Why is that? And then number two, do you think this war has to do with the formation of BRICS?
Okay. Well, if you're talking about the stamp, we know they have a stamp, and some folks say they even got a street for Malcolm X, over there. And even when they took hostages during the Iran, what was it? When they took the hostages, I can't remember what year it was or even what they called it, but they released the black people and said, black people have been oppressed, enough. So they don't have the hatred that America and or the media puts out, that they want people to think they have a hatred. Again, when they are saying DEATH, to America, they are talking about the policies and the sanctions. And this is why I say, look at Operation Ajax from from the 50s. You have to look at that. Okay. And what was the other one?
The formation of BRICS. Does this war have anything to do with
Formation of BRICS. Yeah, I mean, those things definitely have something to do with it because, again, the colonizer is trying to remain the colonizer. And the way they've controlled through the petrodollar and through other things, that they've used to maintain control, they'll do whatever they feel is necessary. They'll lie, they cheat, they steal. I mean, that's what they've done. That's what they do. They are, who prophecy talks about as far as being the wicked. They're corrupt. I mean, there's nothing that we can look at and say, they did it honestly, right? It's like we want to forget how they acquired this geographical landmass and what transpired. Is like they'll say, oh no, that ain't got nothing to do, with us. I mean, it's 2026. That was such a long time ago, but these things are still very much relevant. And this is why decolonization is a global movement, and we just need to get in the stream of things and start networking with other international and or nation states and, come from under being colonized and oppressed and make it be known we are a people, we can fend for ourselves from self-determination, reclaiming our autonomy, and we can govern ourselves. And we don't have to go back to Africa until it's time for us to go based on when it's time for us to go. But right now, we have a resource and or tool that we can organize. And it's just up to us to be educated on that and don't wait for their experts and their professionals to break it out. So again, as you have me talking about that tonight at 9 o'clock, we're going to go further into decolonization and bringing and or making people aware that it's a real thing. It's been on the books. It's just that they've hid it. And, they've introduced civil rights and voting rights, and none of these are rights. All of these are privileges, and whoever gives the privilege, that's who's in control, and that's the colonizer. And we just need to come to understand these things, reposition ourselves, and do it again, as a people right here in America. As I say, folks running around begging for reparations. Well, if we decolonize, we get everything, which is more than reparations, and then we can make them still, hold them, to the concept of reparations, but we'll do it as a nation state. If they give us reparations right now, it ain't gonna do nothing but go right back to them because, we're being ruled, we're being controlled. So, we have to make the step, towards reclaiming autonomy. So I'm going to say thank you, guys. We've been on since 1 o'clock. I'm going to say thank you. Make sure you follow me, Bonita, so we can, get you in line with decolonization, and we can talk a little bit more about, the original people and what you're expressing as far as the true Israelites and the imposter. And we can really look globally, you all, to create networks to where we can break away from the mainstream media and have venues to where we can hear from one another organically using different social media platforms. We're on Telegram, we're on Discord, and we'd really like to connect with genuine people. And more importantly, those that see the need to decolonize and do the work and not just talk about it. Okay. So I appreciate everybody that's been on the stage tonight. We've had a really good conversation, a lot of mixed emotions, but in the end, we like to have this platform to where people can be heard, good, bad, and or indifferent. See, Bonita, nobody kicked you out. You're still here. You're safe.
Thank you.
Hey, host,
This
thank
room
you
was
for
good.
providing this platform. I like you're going on a good live. Your calm demeanor helps everything go smoothly. Thank you again. I'll be back.
Yeah, this is one of those safe spaces, where again, good, bad, or indifferent, because the truth, it will never be denied. You can scrutinize it. It's never going to change. And at the end of the day, I might learn something that I did not know. So I invite people to come and share their thoughts. And furthermore, it just lets us know who's in the house. All right. So you all have a good morning, a good night, a good evening,
You too, sir.
wherever you are. Make sure you
Host,
follow me.
can I just say something to Benita? I just want to say something. Benita, you said something, and I just want to make it clear that I'm Muslim myself. Islam doesn't want to take over anybody. Neither do we have a thing that we think that anyone is less than us. So I just want you to know, and I want this for everyone that's listening, there's no such thing as Islam and we want to bring Sharia law, and that's just a fallacy that they're telling you people. What Islam wants is justice for everybody, no oppression for anybody, and peace. That is literally what we want for the world. We don't want WARs. We don't want people that are being oppressed. And if you look at literally what I'm saying to you, just go and look at who your Muslim neighbor is. Just look who they are. Just go and speak to them, because the problem is on social media right now, they are trying to make the boogeyman, the Islam boogeyman. That is what they are doing right now. And I hope people don't fall for that. And at the end of the day, we are all human. The religion you have is between you and your creator. We have to stop making religions into something that's going to divide us. Religion should bring us together, not divide us.
I'm gonna say this.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna say this.
And I heard you.
I'm gonna say this to add on to what Truth Seeker said. I'd like to point out that religions were made by man, but there is a thing called heritage. We all have a heritage, and that's what we're meant to practice. That's what we're meant to live by. And if we take their religions, this is where the confusion, comes into place. And somehow, we intertwine the word of religion with a heritage. And I want you all to know these things are different. It's just as we're talking with, the war that's going on, the Persian people, they have a heritage. They have a history. It needs to be respected. We have a heritage. I mean, everyone have that heritage. And somewhere along the lines, it got lost because of how the colonizers, they use, their resources or persuasion, the things that they use, their indoctrinations, the propaganda, the rhetoric, all these things to keep people confused and, at odds with one another. But there is something called a family of nations. So we just got to get our sugar honey iced tea together, so that we can step on the international stage, as you say, Bonita, as the Israelites, as God's chosen, people, and enter into a family of nations. Just be productive, and yeah, stop looking at those things that are keeping us, separate. So once again,
Can I just
just want to, thank you all. Benita, make sure you follow me so, we can make sure we keep communicating.
I
I
got you locked
appreciate you
in.
all.
Y'all
can I
have a
just
good
say,
night. I enjoyed y'all.
All right.
Thanks a lot, my
Good
brother.
night, good morning, good
you know,
evening.
yeah,
Peace, love, and light.
host, with regards to, because, I'm a Muslim myself, yes, and I did, with regards to what Bonita said, yes, because we're all trying to unite with one another, yes, to show that, we're no different from anybody else, because, somebody always needs like Truth said, somebody always needs a boogeyman. Yes, and right now Islam is your boogeyman. But the actual boogeyman, you need to actually wake up and open your eyes. It's the actual Zionist who is actually controlling the world, dividing us all, taking our lands, and taking our people at the same time. They are making us fight one another, yes, whilst they at the top sit and are laughing at all of us, saying, look, we got,
My
these
point.
people to fight against those people to fight against them. Yes, so, and we are not your problem. We are not your problem.
That's my point, Mr.
Yes,
Boombastic. The
sir. We not
boogeyman
your
is the
problem.
colonizer. The boogeyman is the colonizer,
That's
and
right.
this.
That's right. It's that orange man. But y'all know who voted for that man around the world. Y'all gotta know who voted for that man, and it's sure enough one of us. So I'm gonna leave it there. And y'all have a good night.
All right, take care. Take care, everyone.
Yes,
Have a
brother.
good
And if there's ever a civil war, brother, we need Truth Seeker on our side, on our team.
All right, y'all take
I
it
love
easy.
you, bro. A big love you to everybody. W host, great panel as always, and W to humanity. Humanity first. Don't do to someone as you wouldn't want them to do unto you. And my prayers that the U.S. troops do not touch or go into Iran because I don't want any mother crying for her son. Take care, host. Love and light to you too.
Y'all be safe.